know it's hella late. You guys are not used to seeing me here at this time. What's up, JS? You guys are not used to seeing me here at this time, but I was kind of hoping, okay? There were some people lurking. It's late at night. Maybe you're in bed. Maybe you're bored. Maybe you're surfing the net. I'm here. Hi, surprise. You see the topic. Why can't men accept women are just as sexual as they are? Okay, I got a video for you guys. I'm definitely not going to keep you here long. Mama promises, okay, because it is late. I know it's hella late on the East Coast. Not so much on the West Coast. It's only 7:30 out here. And I just got back from the movie theater. If you guys saw the subject, it says Wakanda review. No spoilers. I'm not going to give you any spoilers whatsoever. I'm just going to tell you how I feel after watching the movie. I'm not going to tell you what happened, who did what, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to do any of that. For the occasion of my topic, I thought I'd give you a Mia Khalifa look tonight. Some of you know who that is. Some of you don't. People that don't, good guys. You're good guys if you don't know who Mia Khalifa is. So I'm giving you a Mia Khalifa tonight, right? So I just got back from the movie theater. I did see Wakanda, right? This is all I'll say without spoilers. Beautifully done once again. I love the storyline. The costumes were amazing yet again. Be prepared to cry. It's a tearjerker. I will say that. I love all the black and brown. You know, there was a lot of black and brown coalition subliminals throughout the film, which was beautiful to see because you guys know I am Latina, but I identify as an Afro-Latina. So I feel like I have, you know what I mean? Half of me is with my Latin culture and the other half is, you know what I mean, with the African culture, right? Some people say Black, but I think African and Black are two different things. I mean, for obvious reasons, like Africans are from Africa, Black people are from America. And I just feel attached to my African ancestry. So when I watch, you know, Wakanda, and now they did the, you know, the Namor or Namor, how do you say his name, guys? Namor or whatever. You know, it was nice to see black and brown on a screen, right? Because we usually watch films and it's an all white cast, especially these comic films. But it was nice to see us, right? It was nice to see both sides of me, Latin and African, and you know, I identify as Afro-Latina. And some people will disagree. Some people will be like, "No, you Black," or "No, you Spaniard," or "No, you know how people are, right? They're always telling you who you are and what resonates with you and what you relate to and how you should identify. What's up, Necessary Evil? You see, I'm here late, right? I just got back from the movie theater. So, you know, it was beautiful to watch. I'm not going to give you spoilers. So the only thing I can tell you is how I feel after watching the film. Beautifully done, beautiful colors, great action, tear jerker for a bunch of different reasons. They paid great homage to Chadwick, of course. We all expected that. We were all sitting in our seats waiting to see how they're going to honor Chadwick Boseman. I think they did a beautiful job. Of course, watching the film makes you miss him immensely, right? It brings back those emotions. I don't know about you guys, but I remember exactly where I was when I got the news that Chadwick Boseman had passed away. I still remember I was in a restaurant with my daughter and my friend and my grandbaby. And I was, you know, and my daughter told me, and I was like, nah, stop playing. Like, I was like, stop, don't play with me. Don't play with me. And I couldn't even eat after. I could not even eat. I don't know what about Chadwick Boseman. This happens every now and then. Doesn't happen with every celebrity. But sometimes, you know, there is a celebrity that touches you. Their art touches you. All of Chadwick's movies were fucking amazing. True artist. So, you know, some deaths really affect you, even though you're not related to the person, right? And you didn't know the person personally. And that's something that I'm not gonna forget. Like, he was such a great big energy of a man. So anytime so humble, very royal, very king-like, right? Very, very king-like, very regal. So when somebody like that passes away, you feel it, and I think we all felt it. So I think they did a great. They paid homage, and then they went on with the show, right? But you can see that his essence was interwoven into the dialogue and the acting. You can even see the grief in the other actors. I'm not going to tell you who made appearances, who was there, who was not, who turned into what. You guys got to see that for yourselves. I want you to enjoy it, so I'm not going to be the asshole and give you spoilers. I just say support it, go see it. It's a beautiful all Black cast and Latino cast. Just beautifully done, beautifully done. So bravo. I'd watch it again. It is long, so prepare to get your snacks. It's 2 hours and 40 minutes. But it's so well done that you don't realize you're sitting there for 3 hours. It doesn't drag, in my opinion. Great action, great acting. It was really good. It was really, really good. But it's like it makes you pensive, you know what I mean? Because it takes you back to Chadwick. Angela Bassett kicked ass, of course. They all did. They all left blood on the lens, as they say in showbiz. So I was like, it's not that late. So let me come on here and kick it with y'all again. I promise I'm not keeping y'all long tonight because I know it's late on the East Coast. But I wanted to say hello because I didn't come on earlier, right? What's going on in the news? I'm not going to do a long monologue for y'all. It's the regular old shit. Nick Cannon is expecting his 12th child after just announcing he's expecting his 11th child a couple weeks ago. Apparently one of the other women in his harem is also pregnant again, and she's on baby number 3 for him. So, we just heard he's expecting his 11th, but no, he's actually expecting his 12th. So Nick Cannon is on, his 12th baby is on the way. If you care, Mr. Community Dick himself, gotta love Nick, right? Does it matter? Shit, we ain't paying the child support. You know what I mean? Good luck to those kids. Their father's going to be spread very thin unless he moves all those women under the same roof. And he can afford to. He can afford to have his harem under one roof, and maybe he doesn't want it that way. But, good luck to the babies. Their father's going to be spread pretty thin. He's in entertainment. He has to travel a lot. And he has 12 kids that he has to show up for. You know what I mean? And a lot of them are the same age. So it's going to be interesting to see him balance, graduations. When he has 3 kids graduating at the same time, he has 3 birthdays at the same time, and they're living in different states. That's going to be interesting for him. But if he likes it, I love it. The women keep laying down, and to have them little cash registers. That's what I call them, those babies. They're like cash registers that they're giving birth to, because those women are not going to be taken care of, right? Even if they don't have their own career. So, hey, they like it. I love it. It's not my womb. Ain't my business. We could look at it and scoff at it like, oh my God. But there are a lot of cultures that do shit like that. So whatever. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about culture in a minute regarding my topic. Why can't men accept women are just as sexual as they are, right? So good luck to Nick and them. If you guys don't know already, if you didn't watch my show yesterday, Takeoff's funeral is mañana. It's tomorrow. I don't know if you guys are going to watch. I don't know if you're interested. I know, like I told you yesterday, it's going to be star-studded. There are a lot of, they already announced some people that are going to be singing and performing. I know Alicia Keys is one of them. I don't know the rest of the list, but I'm sure, like I said, it's going to be like the BET Awards. I guarantee it. Okay. It's going to be star-studded. I'm sure they're going to be performances. Hopefully it doesn't borderline on tacky. Nipsey Hussle's funeral was amazing, but the preacher, there were certain points where he made it tacky and kind of clownish. So I'm hoping for Takeoff's funeral, that they have a preacher or pastor or whatever you call them, guys, a father or whatever religion Takeoff was, and whoever's going to be representative of that religion. Hopefully he doesn't make a clown out of himself. I thought the guy that was speaking at Nipsey's funeral kind of made himself a clown in certain parts, but we can't pick these people. The family picks them. So tomorrow's Takeoff's funeral. I believe it starts at noon. And it's going to be interesting. I guarantee it's going to be star-studded. The last story that caught my attention was out of the UK. This 23-year-old woman who died on her first night out after having her baby. You know how you have to have that mommy day out after you have your baby? You get your first outing without your baby, and you're like, yes, I can unwind and let my hair down and have fun. She died. Cocaine. So the trial started on Wednesday. The people that supplied, the two guys that supplied her that grade A cocaine, yeah, they were arrested and their trial started yesterday. So I thought that story was a cautionary tale of sorts because, you know, as new mommies, we like to take that break and we go out there and party and we get our drink on because we could finally drink. Hey, YB Limited. Hey, mama. You know, as new mommies, we go out, we want to take that drink, we want to party, right? You know, so you got to be careful. That's why, you know, I'm anti drugs, but not for the reason why people think like, you know, it's not a moral thing for me. It's not an ethical thing for me. It's not a holier than thou thing for me. It's just the drugs are dangerous. That's why they're dangerous, right? If you want to party, you want, you know what I mean? But you have to be very careful. You have to know who you're getting your drugs from, right? Because you never know what someone is putting into that drug and you don't know what you're ingesting. So it's very, very dangerous. I mean, yeah, it's dangerous for the obvious reasons. You can overdose, right? But aside from that, you just don't know what's in there. The fentanyl is dropping people like flies. So you have to be very, very careful of what you ingest, right? I'm not even telling you don't do drugs. If you could do drugs recreationally and survive and whatever, but you know, you have to be very, very careful. And now that woman is dead on her first night out after having a baby, and now her baby doesn't have a mommy over a night of partying. And I thought that was fucking tragic, right? You shouldn't go out and party and then, you know what I mean, end up in a morgue refrigerator. So rest in peace to that girl, only 23 years old. Such a tragedy, but that is what happens. So, you know, on the topic, I want to play you guys a video. Like I said, I'm not going to keep you on here long, but I want to talk about sexuality, and I'm going to talk about it in a different way. Like I always do on the block. I always talk about shit a different way. But I'm gonna give you a little spin on it. I'm gonna play a video for you. This girl is going viral because everybody's like, they're clutching their pearls and dropping their teacups because of what she said. And I am going to rationalize what she said. And a lot of men are probably going to be uncomfortable about how I'm going to rationalize this video. Okay, so I'm going to play it for you. And whoever comes late, I'll play it again. I'm going to play it twice because, you know, I like playing the video twice. It's only a couple seconds long, but I like playing it twice so you can hear, you can catch whatever you didn't catch the first go around. But this is very controversial. Okay. And she's being called every name in the book but a child of God, right? And everybody in the comments is explaining why she feels this way. Because, you know, people on the internet like telling you why you feel a way, right? People on the internet love telling you who you are, love telling you how you should identify, and love telling you why you're doing what you're doing, right? Everybody online has a PhD in psychology. They're all psychics. They all gave birth to you. Everybody online tells you why you're doing what you're doing, why you feel what you. Everybody online got a fucking answer, right? I'm going to dissect it in a different way. Let me play this video for you guys. You listen to it for yourself. You listen to it for yourself. Did I tell y'all welcome, welcome? I don't know if I did because, like I said, this is very impromptu. I didn't give you guys a warning I was going to be on. Very impromptu. You guys already know I'm on the block with Jen all over social media, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, at Gmail, on the block with Jen at Gmail. If this is your first time watching me, I'm a little lazy tonight. I'm usually more animated than this, but thank you for being here on a late night anyway. I appreciate you. I do. So here's the video, guys. Listen up, okay? I'll play it twice. It's just a couple seconds long, okay? And you guys can form your opinions and ideas. I'm not against what you think. I'm just going to tell you what I think about what she said.
Why I'm like I am with her? Because of what you saw me go through.
Wrong video. Sorry, guys. Wrong video. Let me get it for you. Talk amongst yourselves while I grab this video for you. Sorry, guys. That was little scrappy. That was from yesterday's stream. And that's not what I wanted to show you guys. Let me grab this. I know I fucking downloaded it. Is it this one? Because I can be a freak until the dawn. And we get all through the night to the early morn. Tomorrow, around the world in a gangster lane. That's the song I was playing at the beginning. Adina Howard, freak like me. I thought it was apropos for the subject. All right, guys, so here's the video. I'm going to play the video for you guys. I'm going to play it for you twice. It's just a couple seconds long. I play it twice because people don't catch it the first time, or you were playing with your cat, or you went to grab water. So I'm going to play it for you, and I'm going to break this down of women that... JS, you don't have to kneel. You could just super chat me instead. That's how I take my subs. All right, guys. What's up, Miss Polly? Miss Polly, you probably have an opinion on this. Why we limited you too? So I'm gonna play this video. And I'm gonna play it twice. Let's hear what this young lady has to say. This beautiful young lady.
I like being ran. Yes, I like gangbangs. I like being manhandled by several different men at once. If you want to call it being ran, you call whatever the fuck you want. I'm sexually liberated. And I'm a goddess, and I deserve to have hands all over my body.
Right.
I deserve to be worshipped. Like, why not? I deserve that attention.
Sure. All right, so
well, let's play it one more time so you guys can hear what she said. It's always better to hear it twice because you can catch something that you didn't catch the first time.
I like being ran. Yes, I like gangbangs. I like being manhandled by several different men at once. If you want to call it being ran, you call whatever the fuck you want. I'm sexually liberated. And I'm a goddess, and I deserve to have hands all over my body.
Right.
I deserve to be worshipped. Like, why not? I deserve that attention.
Sure. All right, so
okay. I'm back. I told you I'm giving y'all a little Mia Khalifa tonight, you know, for the subject, for the topic. I'm staying on code. Now, I know there are going to be so many comments, right? Let's first of all, let's take the fluff out the way. No pun intended. Let's get the fluff out the way. So the fluff on this topic is going to be, she got daddy issues. She a hoe. That's the game out there. She just running trains on her. She a hoe. She for the streets. That's the fluff, right? That's the regular shit. And you know you can get that on any YouTube channel. You play that woman in that video on any YouTube channel, that is what you're going to get. You're going to get the fluff. I like going deeper. No pun again. I like going deeper. Pause. As you guys know. So I want to get past the fluff. Let's get rid of the bubbles. Let's get rid of the fluff and the whipped cream. Let's clear that out for a minute, right? But the fluff is going to be what I said. She a hoe. She for the streets, right? Hence my topic. Why can't men accept women are just as sexual as they are? Why can't men accept that? Why do they have to try and diminish the woman or throw on her, like I said, like people do online? Well, she must have daddy issues. She absolutely. There's no way a woman could want to be in bed with more than one man. And it's normal. Something is wrong with her. Daddy issues. She was molested at age 3. She's suicidal. She suffers from depression. Something is it's absolutely absurd. I told you guys, you're going to drop your teacups. I told you guys, the needle on the record for us older people that remember what fucking records are. Right? The guys are clutching their pearls right now. Who is this woman of the streets? This whore, right? That's the fluff. So let's get past that. Why can't men accept that women are just as sexual as they are? And I'll drop the link after I say this. So this woman, right? If we paused for a second, she said she likes it. She's sexually liberated. Doesn't get more sexually liberated than, you know, how she described a gangbang, getting ran, right? And those are names that men use, right? So I guess she's just giving it to you like the language you understand, right? Gangbang, ran, whatever you say. I'm sexually liberated. I like being worshipped. It makes me feel like a goddess, right? And here's the thing. There were comments that were like, what she means, treat her like a goddess. Them motherfuckers don't even remember her name after, right? Well, here's the thing. What makes you think that she gives a fuck about them remembering her name? If you consider yourself a goddess and you view yourself as a goddess, these are your subjects. They are servicing you, right? You're getting off. If she gets off by 2, 3, 4, 5 guys servicing her, right? And by servicing her, I mean, she's enjoying the penetration. She's enjoying the attention. She's enjoying the hands all over her, right? She's enjoying it, right? She's choosing to be there. The men are servicing her. So who gives a fuck what their names are, right? The woman didn't say she wanted to get married. She didn't say she was looking for a boyfriend. She says she likes the scenarios where there's, you know, plenty men servicing her. She feels like a goddess and they're all on her, giving her attention. And she's absolutely right. Because if there's just one woman in the room and all the guys are servicing her, whether it's penetrating her, sucking her titties, eating her cooch, playing in her hair, kissing her, they are on one woman, right? Now, that sounds like a dream come true for a man, right? I actually know someone personally who had an orgy with 5 women, and he was the only man. He was the only man in the room, and he was with 5 women. And I was like, yo, that shit's fucking sexy. And he was like, what? Like, no one's ever told me that before. That women usually scoff at it. Like, no, that's fucking sexy to be the gender in the room, right? And the opposite genders are servicing you. They're there for you, right? Now, the way porn sets up like gangbangs and getting ran or trains, the way porn sets up, right, sets them up. And we've seen a couple of these. We're all grown here. Can we have some grown talk on this late night? The way porn sets it up is the woman is basically, the men are getting off by just using her body, right? They're literally jerking off with her body, right? It's barbaric looking. It's not sexy, right? The ones I've seen anyway. I'm sure I could find porn that's more, you know what I mean, sensual. But the stuff that we see growing up where we're like, oh my gosh, she just took like 10 dicks, right? It's usually barbaric, it's usually hardcore. But there are scenarios where a woman is in a threesome and it's very sensual and the men are servicing her, 2 guys. Like, that exists. It is real, guys. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for you guys. I'm sorry that you don't think that a woman is capable of that situation and loving every fucking inch and stroke. So I want to explore the fear men have of hearing that women are just as sexual as they are. You know, people talk about the sexual revolution. That shit is coming tenfold where women are concerned, because I told you guys before, women don't give a damn about your names anymore. Women don't give a damn when you hoe, you slut, you from the street. Remember, you guys used to say shit like that to diminish women and make them feel bad. Like, oh my God, I don't want nobody to think I'm a hoe. Oh shit, right? Women aren't caring anymore. And the younger women, talking about women in their 20s and the teenagers that are coming up behind, they don't, religion is out the window. Their mothers are younger. You got social media. You got sexual fluidity, gender fluidity. You know what I'm saying? This ain't your daddy's country anymore. This ain't your daddy's planet. That's why these laws are coming into play to try to control women, because women are becoming uncontrollable, as they say, you know what I mean, in these spaces, right? So I believe, without knowing this woman's history, just what she said, without knowing her history, without psychoanalyzing her, without asking her, does she love her daddy? It's a very normal thing for her to want and get multiple men servicing her. That is a thing. But for some reason, men fear that idea. They want to think of women as these lily white petals that no one has ever touched, right? These little sacred things. Like body count is still an issue, right? Body count is still an issue. And we're in a new day. This is a new day. So, you know, I look at her, and I'm gonna drop the link if anybody wants to come up and say a few words. We ain't gotta be here all night. This was just something that I saw when I was scrolling, and I was like, Mama, I get it. No, like I fucking get it. You know, women have so many different types of fantasies, the craziest shit that you can imagine. Like the articles I've read and the movies I've watched and some of the sensual porn, you would be surprised at what women truly desire and want and are making come true. And the reason why you would be surprised is because you think porn is only one way. You think sexuality only goes one way. I tell you guys all the time too, how you guys are, you know, oh, it's so hard for me not to cheat. Women are thinking the same fucking thing. You're just delusional. You're in your own man head and man space, right? You're like, well, I'm the one that has to refrain from cheating. Women are the same way, right? When your wife goes to work or your girlfriend goes to work, you think that there's nobody hotter there than you are? You really think that? You think that your woman, I'm from New York, you think that your woman doesn't get on the New York City subway? It doesn't see that fine guy get on the train every fucking morning when she does, but she's thinking, oh my God, I got a boyfriend or a husband. Like, you know, I'm going to tell y'all like it is. You think her boss ain't fine? You think her boss ain't got a presence? You think she ain't imagining getting taken on his desk by her? You think women don't have these ideas and fantasies? Really? You're forgetting that women are the way they are. What's up, Tristan? You're forgetting that women are the way they are because they are conditioned to be that way. That is what you're forgetting. And some people say, no, women are internal. Men are external. They have dicks that hang. Women are internal. So they're taking, you know, your penis, you're taking your penis into their body. So they view their bodies more special. And women are just not built to understand that when a baby boy is born, he is conditioned and raised a certain way. And when a baby girl is born, she is conditioned and raised a certain way, right? And that conditioning is usually polar opposite. Men are constantly told, go out there, you know, conquer that pussy. Yeah, men cheat. It's what happens. Doesn't mean you don't love your wife. Yeah, men are supposed to fill the earth and subdue it. Yeah, that's why when you come, you have 1 billion sperm because you're supposed to be with 1 billion women, right? Men are constantly hearing that from a young age. And then little girls are hearing from a young age, close your legs. Nobody likes a hoe. Don't be a slut. Don't be the girl. Be a virgin. Men like virgins. Watch your body count. That is conditioning. That's not innate. That's not innate. When a woman grows up, right? And she feels like, I don't want to be deemed as a hoe. I don't want to look like, you know, a slut. I got to save myself from my husband. That's shit that she's been hearing from when she was a little kid. That's not innate. You have to teach somebody that. That's not innate. Innate is you grow up, you go through puberty, you start getting horny, and you got to fuck some. That's male and female. That's not reserved for males. That's male and female. We all go through puberty. Now we need to fuck some. But it's just women have in the back of their minds, nobody likes a hoe. Close your legs. Right? And then we have to refrain from cheating, from wanting two, three guys. We have to refrain, right? But what do we really want? And why are men so afraid of it? I'm going to bring up Miss Polly. Miss Polly, I know you got something on this subject.
Yeah, it's horrible. I mean, I understand. I totally I'm the person. Yeah, I get it a whole bunch. Even within poly community, same thing. They have it's called like, sorry my language if it's bad, but there's some people who are like one, only one dick. They're allowed that one dick policy. They have that in poly. They call it one dick policy. It means that like there's only one, penis in the poly group. It's foolishness. I'll be honest, but I have to respect people's boundaries, of course.
Right.
So
you
definitely,
got
yeah. It is.
Before you get into that, let me do a super chat break. Tristan said, at a concert, here's my penalty fee for you and the chat for not being able to come up tonight. You had a concert? Who you went to see? Bad Bunny? The world is going to see Bad Bunny. Thank you, Tristan. Miss Polly, please school us a little bit. You're sexually liberated, yes?
I'll say to some degree yes. I don't feel the boundaries. I would say I don't feel the boundaries that are set for women are okay. With that being said, doesn't mean I want to run all over the street and things like that. I do think, I don't even say spiritually. Like I feel like, to some degree there's like, okay, I don't want to just have anybody have access to me, but certain people can have access to me and it's okay, if that makes sense. Yes. Like, not anybody can get me. But, if if we're vibing or whatnot and, it's more than one person, I just don't see the difference between the male and female aspect. Like you said, those are kind of policies and rules that we were shown. And a lot of that is because, women were seen as we were property. They hate hearing that. That's not true. We were showing we were property. We aren't supposed to even really think of sex like men do. Supposedly we're supposed to just allow them to do what they do with us and we're okay with it. And that is not the case. We enjoy sexual moments like everyone else. We're attracted to more than one man. I'm saying, like, even if you don't want a relationship with more than one man and be poly, you're attracted to more than one man. I mean, there's not just one guy who gets your goat.
Tell them again. Please tell them again. Because for some reason, men think when we get in a relationship, right, we don't see any other attractive men who are hot that we wonder what that mouth do. Oh, we got World King.
Right. And yeah, and some men get actually mad. Like I've heard stories, which I do think you shouldn't be rude. Now there's a difference. We're going to have to separate this. Let's get this out there, Jen, because you know what they'll try to do. We're not saying people who are in relationships or women who are rude to their partners and get out of line. That's just like a man, looking at a girl who, when they're on the date and goes touch the waiter's butt. That we're not talking about that. I'm saying, when we watch a movie, we're attracted to these things. We see men with no shirts on. Wakanda is being, looked at for the men aspect. A lot of women go to see Chippendales. Don't be lost, and they pay. Women pay. They pay to get a little sausage in their face. I'm not saying it's wrong, but yeah, we're sexually attracted to men. Why would we, try to hide that? I don't get why we're supposed to hide and be like, oh, I'm sorry, I don't want you, And then the men, on the other hand, will be like, well, I don't know if she wants me or not. But if we display the want, then, there's something wrong.
I mean,
if I start being too aggressive to a man, it looked that bad.
The movie Top Gun had a lot of eye candy for the ladies. Okay. I went to Magic Mike recently. And that was, I mean, wall to wall women all over these men, all, I mean, wild as shit. Like, and it's funny to watch because I'm like, men think that women don't feel this way. Before I pass the mic to World Kings, Miss Polly, what do you think about the woman in the video and what she said?
I could see her view on it. I'll be honest, because I mean, like I said, I'm poly, and my partners, don't want their sexual relationships to overlap. But I'll be honest, for me, I don't mind. It's in my head, okay, I'm with these people, that's fine. But for her, what she's saying, listen, if she's free out here and she feels, like liberated to that degree, I actually don't see anything really wrong with it. If she, being safe, I don't see what's wrong with having that kind of, energy to do that. And she feels good about it, So if she's in a positive place, I don't think I want to take it from her to say she's a hoe, because men do the same thing. Men get 5, 6 women on them all day and it's glorified. Women do that. It's like, what's wrong with you? Absolutely.
Right. World Kings, did you see the video?
What's going on, y'all? No, I didn't see the video.
Let me play it for you. It's a couple seconds long. Couple seconds long. She's going viral because women ain't supposed to talk like this.
And I'm a goddess, and I deserve to have hands all over my body.
Right. I like it.
I deserve to be worshipped. Like, why not? I deserve that attention.
Sure. All right, so
did you get that?
Okay, yeah, I seen it. Yeah, I think I've seen that one before.
Right. So it's like a lot of people are sharing it. Tristan is giving me the little sick faces. Okay, so we're talking about why can't men accept women are just as sexual as they are, and I went through a couple examples of how women think and how women are getting down now. And people say, well, it's because things are so corrupt now. That no, it's actually women have always felt that way. They're just not going to be tied down anymore by the conditioning, right? And I was saying how men would automatically look at this and be like, well, she's for the street, she a hoe, she a slut, she a this and that. But that's the fluff. Let's get past that. And do women think like this? I'm a woman. I know I think like that. You know what I mean? I think about all kinds of fantasies, and I like my little 50 Shades of Gray. You know what I mean? So what do you think about in general when women talk like that, and why it's automatically deemed as, oh, she got daddy issues, or oh, she crazy, or why not? No, she just likes what men like.
I think only that type of thinking goes on in a certain type of demographic. I know for the whole, that's the mind state that, if she's messing with a whole bunch of dudes or whatever the case may be, she's for the street, she's a hoe, she's this, she's that. But in the real world, it's always been like that. I mean, women have always done what they wanted to do. To me, you know what I'm saying? This is just what I see, what I've been around, or what I've been accustomed to, or whatever, or just understanding women and how they think and how they get down. It's always been like that. Like, there's always been trains going on. Like, back in the day, we used to run trains or whatever the case may be. Or I don't train. I don't know if you call it train, whatever the case may be.
They call it gangbang, getting ran, trains. Yeah.
Trains, we used to do all that back in the day, trains, threesomes, all that, you know what I'm saying? Orgies, all that type of stuff. I think that's normal, really. I think the problem is that, like you said, and that's a part of, there's people that are online that are putting this out there like that. But they're only putting it out there for an agenda. I believe these guys know deep down what it is. But it's like, if you're selling something, then you want to kind of stick to your script. You know what I'm saying? You want to kind of keep your con going. So
what do you mean by that, though? What do you mean by that?
Like, guys that are saying that it's the same thing as guys saying, okay, you should allow a man to cheat on you, and they're thinking that a woman's going to sit there and allow it to happen.
Okay.
And that a woman's not going to cheat back, that she shouldn't, that it's biology, that a man can have a whole bunch of kids and all this whole stuff. You see what I'm saying? I believe that if they, instead of getting in reality, because the reality of matter is yeah, some women are going to take it, but a lot of women aren't.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And whether they tell you that they're not going to do it, that's a whole nother thing. You know what I'm saying? That's where the whole thing is. You know what I'm saying? That's where it boils down to. Like these women that are on these shows and that are saying that, yeah, these be the ones that's, as soon as you turn your back and they're saying that it's okay, it's not, and if they feel it's not okay, then they're gonna respond. So, yeah, like this stuff is normal. You know what I mean? And I don't look at anybody any different from what you do. You know what I mean? What you do is what you do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? If you get ran or whatever, or you run somebody or whatever the case may be, you grown. You can do what the hell you want to do.
Right.
And I don't look at it like that. Yeah, I just look at the world and things different. I look at it for what it is, because now to answer that question, why can't men accept women are just as sexual as they are? Like I'm saying, this all ties back into what I'm saying. They have to accept it because they know it. They know that they are, if not more. But that's just looking at the totality of it. If you look at the totality of it, are men and women just as sexual as each other? I would say yes. It could be more or it could be less, depending on what you're dealing with. Because you could have a woman that may have a low sex drive. Okay, she's not gonna be as high as, or you can have a guy that has a low sex drive. You know what I'm saying? So it goes on an individual basis. But to answer a total question, hell yeah, they just as sexual, if not more. Because you also got to look at it like this. Now, we can sit up there and have 10 kids in 10 months. We can have 10 kids in 10 months by 10 different women.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to understand, for the most part, unless you kind of like, a man can fuck a woman, and once he busts, you know, unless you can keep going, you're gonna need a quick little break.
Right.
You're gonna need about unless you can keep going, unless you one of them dudes that can keep going, or whatever the case may be, you're gonna need a little 2-minute, 3-minute intermission, and then come on, jump it back up, and then boom. She can keep going right then and there.
Right. Hello.
You know what I'm saying? So that's a whole nother thing.
This is interesting. Necessary Evil said, I want the same fire dick from one guy, which a lot of women want, but the women have to pick a guy that feels the same way. It's hard to find a man that wants the same fire pussy from one woman forever. So that's the disclaimer with that. Tristan is saying, what did Tristan? Tristan says, who needs to get married if the women out here are like her? I'm comfortable with an arrangement marriage. At this point, Don Levon says, hey, I'm with you, bruh. There is nothing with her getting a train ran on her. There are women in porn doing it every day. I just wouldn't want a human nut rag. That's what he is calling her, nut rag. And it's funny, like I said before, men are going to have all kinds of names for her. It's never going to be just a woman that likes a variety of dicks. She has to be a nut bag. She got to be a hoe. She got to be for the street. They just can't call this woman by her name. She'll never be deemed, right? 9 times out of 10, I know World Kings, you said you don't really care. Everybody's grown. But 9 times out of 10, I think because men have this phobia about women that are sexual or hypersexual, what they try to do is diminish her by calling her names, right? That's what we do.
No, Jen. This is what I'm telling you, though. They care. They'll say this type of stuff. They'll say all that old type of stuff. But then end up turning around and going to fuck with her anyway.
Right. That's what I was just about to say. And I was just about to say that because this happens to me all the time.
Listen, Jen, this is what I'm telling you. So all these dudes that are saying this type of shit, listen to me.
They'll come right in.
I know what I'm talking about, Miss Jen.
You do.
So yes, I'm telling you, like a motherfucker, that's like a motherfucker, like, okay, he'll be like, this hoe, this niggas love hoes.
And they go right to their house.
When are we gonna stop with this whole thing? Like, or I don't even want to say hoes. I was yeah, hoes. Okay, niggas love hoes.
Yes.
What everybody would deem a hoe is
they go to
Oh,
That's such a great point because when I started, I mentioned Mia Khalifa, who, right?
All of
Who,
them.
what guy would not fuck with her?
All of them do. All of them do. It's a
If
joke.
it was just you and Mia Khalifa, if it was just you, a man and Mia Khalifa alone in a room, no one's ever
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
know. You gonna tell me you ain't gonna fuck that porn star? Really?
Yes, you is.
And
man,
she's hot. And she's hot.
it's not only her; it's so many of them, all of them. Every last
Right.
one of them. And that's what
Yeah,
I'm
and
telling you. You can't listen. You can't so much listen to what people say. They like, oh, hoe this, hoe that. But on the under, they go over there and mess with that hoe that they was calling a hoe.
and
Right.
even women will, I mean, it gets even bad. Women will, they be like, "Oh, she do this nasty, nasty," but you the worst one of
Yup,
all.
yup, yup,
You
yup,
the
yup, yup. Oh, yeah,
worst one.
yeah. Hey, Miss Polly, you so right on that one.
And
You
I
saw
put that at
what
the
I know that for sure. I know that for sure. Miss Polly, you so right. Women would be like, "Oh my God, that
yes,
I'll never do that. Nah, I'll never do that. Nah, I'll never do this." And
no,
oh my God,
yes,
she's so filthy, and
no,
and this
Jen.
woman would be doing worse.
Worse. Okay, this happened to me in high school a lot because I was very, very like nervous, everything, And I remember like there was a bad rumor about me or something. I remember I was so sad because I was like, this is a lie. This person made me so mad. And a gentleman had come up to me, one of the, and he was like, hey, they just be out here acting wild, these girls. It was a girl who was jealous because the gentleman she was talking to, obviously was trying to talk to me. And she was making it sound like I had been with someone else. Come to find out, he was like, no, let me show you something. He didn't say tell you, he said, show me something. He showed me her taking pictures of stuff all over her face, to be the PG version, all over her face. He showed me like texting her saying, I'm gonna come do this and this and this. And this girl was like singing in the choir. Like it was like you would not know that she was the nasty of the nastiest. And I was like, and it happened multiple times when I've seen women do this. Even to this day, me being polyandry, if you don't know, it happens to me now. A lot of times I get hell and I won't even do anything. I get hell, and it in the like the same men who there's some men, I will be honest, there's some men, I won't put anybody's name out, and I'm like, I ain't like that. But there are men who will get on podcasts, get in live streams that I am and talk garbage, will be in my inbox at the end of the evening after they didn't said all their stuff. Oh, well, let me see what that's like. That sounds interesting. Maybe you can tell me more about it. Oh,
Man,
okay.
hey, Miss Polly, why you telling these folks on me?
I'm
I'm messing with you. I'm messing with you.
no, he's stupid. You no, but this happens. I've been cussed out and called crazy names sometimes. And I'll be like, that's not me. I explain, Polly a little bit better to them sometimes. And I will have them in my inbox. And I'm just like, wait, what just happened? Happens all the time.
Which proves that men are cat. Now I understand, listen, for the people in the chat, I'm not trying to come at anybody in the chat. Everybody is allowed to want what they want, hope for the best. I'm just saying the majority of human beings, the majority, not the minority, the majority of human beings are not built for monogamy. The majority. The people that are built for monogamy are very, very rare. They're needles in the haystack. But trust me, I don't care if you've been with somebody 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, 5 years. They're gonna see other people that are attractive. They're gonna wonder what it's like to be with those people sexually. It's just natural, right? So yeah, you can hope for the best. You could say, no, I want a woman and been with half a dick. She didn't even take a whole dick. She took half a dick one time in her life on a rainy night somewhere. And you can want that, and you can want the guy that is about one woman. But when we're all human beings, right? We're all weak of flesh. Stop thinking that you're going to find somebody and that somebody is never going to want anybody else. And that's a mistake that we make because we so easily diminish these women, right? She a hoe, she for the street, she hoe. But these women exist, and they exist more than you know and more than you think. These women are real. It is real. Women are out here wanting these situations. So you could call her whatever you like, but you're not going to diminish her because she's going to continue living her life, and other women like her are going to continue living their lives. But I really do think when we call these names, right, it is because that person makes us uncomfortable. Their lifestyle makes us uncomfortable, and we have to strike it down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We got to strike it down because that shit makes me uncomfortable, and I don't want to think about a woman sleeping around with
I know.
bunch of people.
I know Brother Ish got to get in here, but I also wanted to say too, a
He's
lot
actually
of that.
busy in the back, so we good for now.
Okay. Well, a lot of that also comes from pressure from what people think that other people are gonna think, and then following trends too. Because if we didn't know what a hoe was, we wouldn't be saying that, oh, she's a hoe, oh, he's this, oh, she's that. We wouldn't know what to call anybody if we didn't hear somebody and if we didn't jump on a bandwagon. Sometimes you don't even know if the person is a quote unquote hoe. She could just be dressing, and you see it both ways. You could see somebody dressing promiscuous and she busting it open online and she ain't giving up no pussy. And you could see a motherfucker that's promiscuous and she busting it open online and she giving up all the pussy. So this,
or you can see him look promiscuous with a Bible. I mean, I'm gonna be honest.
Exactly.
I know a girl.
So you just never know. You just never know. But like I said, a lot of that comes from, like we talk about the manosphere a lot, and like I said, I believe they know what's going on. I just believe that they have to stick to their script, because if they break their script, then that's going to break down their following, which is going to break down their money, which is going to break down their whole shit. So what they're going to do is there's going to come a time where they're going to reinvent it, and then they're going to switch it back around and say, okay, well, this is, well, women, y'all can do what y'all want to do, and this is that. Then it's going to go to something else. You know what I'm saying? But a right man in his mind cannot sit up here and think. Now, you can think all you want, but those of us that kind of understand life and have experienced life, you're going to understand that for the majority, that shit's not going to go like that. I don't care if you're a basketball player, a football player, or whatever. If y'all think these basketball players and football players' wives, when they on the road and if they cheating on them continuously, if y'all don't think some of them women is getting they get back, y'all is fools.
Oh,
case in point, Cassie, the we'll call her singer, Diddy's girlfriend, was with him for a decade. Who did she end up with? Her personal trainer, who was her personal trainer for years. So you're gonna tell me that she ain't never smashed that while Diddy was out doing his thing? Literally, her man now, her husband, was a personal trainer, and Diddy knew him. So
exactly.
It goes back to what you said, where men are like, no, I'm the one that's out there. Meanwhile, she's smashing something. You know what I mean? When you're out of town. Let me do the super chat real quick and bring up 5100. What's up?
What's going on?
You back. Don Levon, thank you for the super chat. Don Levon says, I said I wouldn't date her. Most men would have sex with her if she looks good. Most men with options would not date a self-proclaimed hoe. I'm gonna have to call you on that, Lil Cat, because if we look at the world of celebrities, and I said this before, and people give me pushback, which is fine, but in the world of celebrities and athletes, these dudes literally wait for their rotation with that quote unquote hoe. And it's not just to smash, because they claim that woman, she's on the red carpet. They usually knock her up and make her a mother. So even men with options, you think that Michael B. Jordan doesn't have options? And he was waiting for Lori Harvey to finish with what's that singer?
Sean Coleman.
He was waiting for her to finish with Diddy and Diddy's son and the other guy she dated, the Trey Songz. She's connected to a lot of same thing with Kanye and Kim Kardashian. Kanye has nothing but options, but he was waiting on Kim. And what did he do with Kim? Wiped her and gave her kids. Look at Ice-T and Coco.
Before that, he was with Amber Rose.
Amber Rose, who was a stripper. So men with options.
Offset got options. He's with Cardi B.
Exactly. Drake
and I'm not disparaging none of these women. I'm just saying that what he's saying is not true. I'm not disparaging a woman. I love Cardi. I love all of them. You know what I'm saying? But
I know what you're saying.
And you heard that song. These hoes be winning. It actually, I can see how the women's point of view has started to be like, they are winning. Why am I holding my virginity and my husband gonna cheat on me anyway with the girl who's popping it open at the club? if that's the case, why am I not popping it open, have a good time, and getting dollars thrown at me and going on vacations? I think that's their mind starts thinking like it's better to be in this situation, have more control over my emotions and things like that. And it's maybe not looked at bad by the people I thought it was. Like you said, these women Kardashians, they are getting married. Kim Kardashian
Exactly.
was slutted out and passed out and has been married more times than I mean, come on now.
The bottom line is
Jennifer
people gonna
Lopez even. I'm not trying to be, I'm not saying
Jennifer
she's a hoe, but
Lopez.
I mean, she was, how many men she had and went back to?
Donovan, you cap. Thank you for the super chat, but you a big cap. I'm gonna throw. I usually throw little caps at people. I'm throwing a big cap at you because he says celebrities are not most men. The average Joe on a street corner without a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of, if a Kim Kardashian, quote unquote, a celebrity dick rider, if a Amber Rose if a Lori Harvey, if a
Not even that. If not even that. Not even that. If the Lori Harvey of their neighborhood
right
was to holler at them, they're gonna holler. It's gonna
yes.
happen. I'm not saying every man is, but most men will.
And he's right. And that's the thing that's just so funny to me. And I'm be honest, like this is just me kind of being crude. I usually be a little gentler with it. But if this is the case, even these men out here sleeping with all these different women, even if it's just, you say, oh, it's just for dating, y'all will sit here. You're the ones flooding them out. Y'all keep taking them, doing them, throwing them back into the rotation for everybody else to hit. And then you're talking about you looking for a virgin and ain't nothing left and you confused why. Because y'all didn't took them all. Right. Now they just lying to tell you body counts that don't exist. It just doesn't make sense. Like, come on. They told me yesterday a 50-year-old woman should be with less than 10 people and she's single, never been married, no kids. You know how crazy that sounds?
Lord. What's the missing? So, Roy Chess said, you are missing the issue. If he doesn't wife her, then he does not value. That's not true. That's not true. Like you guys have to let go of that fucking ring and that piece of paper. Some people do not believe in marriage. Stop thinking the entire human existence goes under this little umbrella of if someone values you, they marry you. I know people who've never been married and their relationship is more intact than people who share rings. Like, we have to stop being so fucking ignorant.
It's not even that. It's that even the people that do value rings, they are going to marry them. They are going to wife them. Even the dudes with 1,000 bodies. Wilt Chamberlain, may he rest in peace. Dudes with a lot of bodies. Deion Sanders had a Beyond the Glory. It's like a thing where they, talk about his career and all that. And he was talking about there was times where he had 4, 5, 6, 7 women in the bed. And he like, what can one man do with 7 women? And he still is getting wifed or husband up.
Yeah.
So it's going to happen.
A lot of people, like you said earlier, basically, a lot of people cap about this situation because a lot of men, rich or poor, would sleep with that fine chick, even if they know her resume. This whole like, well, he don't value her if he don't. These guys are taking these quote unquote hoes on red carpets. They're impregnating them. I was talking about Kyrie Irving's chick the other day. He's her 4th athlete. Kyrie Irving is her 4th athlete, but she's the one that locked him in. He's the one that got her pregnant. I guess the other athletes was like, no, you ain't it. But Kyrie Irving said, I don't give a fuck that you slept with 3 or 4 of the guys that I have to play ball with and see. I want you for me. He didn't marry her, but you're not going to tell me that he didn't knock her up two times over already. He don't value her. That's the mother of his children. He called her his wife, right? He married her. So I'm like, we can't say that. We don't, in my opinion, respectfully, y'all giving men too much credit. Y'all giving men too much credit. Like, it just sounds for men to call women hoes, but that's not how they feel behind closed doors.
Right. And that was always kind of threw me off. I said, when I asked anyone who says like, the body count, why that count? And a lot of times they say, oh, it's because, you don't want someone who's been all over the place, and I've heard that before. But what was killing me is these are the same people. How does a baby mama who has 1 baby end up with 7 8 kids or whatever, and there's still men trying to pursue her. And you can't say, okay, well, it gets worn out, because that is a muscle. Now, if you don't know how to take care of your stuff, that's on you. That is a muscle. People have children and they're still getting pregnant. Back in the day, people were having 15, 16 kids, and they were still in that stuff. And they had options. They could cheat, and they still was banging their wife. It was not something that is going to explode. A woman's vagina is not going to be something that is going to bust wide open, and all of a sudden he got too rough with her. It goes back. It's a muscle. If you don't know, now you know. I'm not saying you should run the street all the time, but I'm saying it's a fantasy. If you think that women are not desiring men, and that they can't have sex, and that their values only based, or some of it's only based on how many bodies they had. I'll be honest with you, Jen, I feel like a lot of men feel like it's competition, because now that you done felt 4 or 5 dicks, if they dick ain't good. Let's be honest about it. If you had 4 or 5 people give you oil, hey, your oil's not good. And you know why I know? Because I had 4 or 5 people tell me, or do it, or feel it. So I know yours isn't good, because now I can compare you to other people. And if I can compare you to someone else and you're not good, now you feel devalued, because men don't really feel valued by a lot of stuff other than their pocket, the dick. You see what I'm saying? So if you take the dick away, oh shoot, that's a hit to the heart. Oh snap!
Right.
Hey, listen, this other guy, he tossed me up. You ain't doing it. What's going on? He hit me back to back. You ain't doing that. I think it's competition to some degree, because how you want to compete with a girl that had 100 dicks? Where do you fit in? You always think someone's better than you. It's confusing, and I think that kind of makes you feel some kind of way. I think that's really the real reason.
There are some men that will ask you if they're the biggest you've had.
Yes. Why would you ask that if it didn't matter?
Men ask, am I the best you had, or am I the biggest you had? I want to bring up this comment. Pookie, I don't know what Roy Chess said. No, Pookie, no, wait. Roy Chess, what he said, Roy Chess says he does not value her. He can leave her like nothing. I don't know what country you're in, but we have a 50% divorce rate in this country. So marriage doesn't mean shit to 50% of the people that do it. That is a statistic. That is not me making it up. So marriage, the people that get married don't value it. Anybody could walk away from a marriage. Anybody, women, men, 50% of the time, motherfuckers say, fuck off. I don't want to do this married shit. It has nothing to do with whether or not they value you. Human beings are real people with feelings, and sometimes they don't want to fuck with that person no more.
And the majority of divorces end because of finances. It doesn't end because of all this other stuff.
Right.
So
Haran says, and then I'll pass the mic to Tiz. Haran says, shout out to the panel, love to all. Ain't no grown man 35 plus should be gullible enough to believe any number a woman tells you. She's with you. Worry about that. Thank you for the super chat, Haran. Haran says, I've always had options. I've slept with bad chicks with high body counts since the 90s. We all here because somebody in our family was a hoe. Well, all right, Haran. Oh my goodness. Okay, Taz, what you got for us?
Man, just wanted to hop in here and kind of come in on this conversation. It's a interesting one. But I gotta agree more with Dunn on this.
Okay.
Because like I said, it's funny that everybody try to tiptoe around where I don't classify as a hoe. But then we all know that they got a negative connotation around it. So why we tiptoeing around it if it's nothing negative? My second point is done right. I mean, yeah, most men will have sex with the 304. But like you said, celebrities, most regular guys don't look at celebrities as I gotta be like that guy. Most regular guys ain't looking at hoes like that. Because it is a such thing as hoes, and I mean, men can be hoes as well. My thing is, at the end of the day, most men ain't going after say, I want to be with that, and I know she done slept with this guy, and this guy. Sometimes discretion is best. I ain't gotta know, but if I do know, that is gonna change the way that I look at you. If it changed the way she looks at me, fine. But those are the things, those are what we call consequences of actions. If I know you done slept with the whole block, yes, I'm gonna look at you differently. I might not want to be in a relationship with you or marry you. And you're right. Marriage don't last, it's 50-50. I'm cool with that. I understand it. I wish it was better, but it ain't. But that comes to, if people gonna do what they want to do. We all grown, we all adults. But to say that men out here, that hoes winning, I'm 100% against that. Hoes winning in Hollywood, not in real life, not at the warehouses. They ain't winning, they getting passed through, and it's on to the next. So that's just how I look at it. I mean, we all know.
You're completely allowed your opinion. When you talk about negative connotations or negative, it's from conditioning. Like what you know a hoe to be was because somebody told you that was a hoe. So that's the point I'm trying to make. Someone told you, listen, if you see a woman and she sleeps around, we call that hoe, okay, Junior? And you're like, okay, right? It's conditioning. That's all it is. So it's a word that men made negative, and then women adopted it because men felt like women, way back in the day, women were the property of men. So let's dissect it. Let's not just you fuck around, you a hoe. Let's dissect it. Let's dissect it. Let's have the conversation, right?
I mean,
women were the property of men, and any woman that stepped outside of that line was diminished with all kinds of derogatory names and ousted. And how dare you not be a willing participant in being the property of this man who owns you? That's where that came from. And then it became generational. So what you believe a hoe to be, if you went to a tribe, there are tribes where women rule the roost, and they pick the men and who the fuck and all of that. No one's being called a hoe over there. But in our culture, if a woman is sexually liberated, she automatically gets stamped as something. And it's a power thing, because if I can make you feel less than for your sexuality, then I remain in power, right? If I make you feel like a hoe, then you're going to feel I got power over you, because I can call you a hoe. I can call you a slut. I can say you for the streets. And as far as a Hollywood, and then I'll pass the mic, as far as a Hollywood, what do you mean men don't think like celebrities? Men live vicariously. They infamously live vicariously through celebrities. They walk, talk like them. They wear the same clothes. They listen to the music. They want to be those celebrities. And if any of those guys had a chance with the quote unquote celebrity hoes, they would be there front and center, because men are groupies too. Men are groupies of women too. So ain't no regular dude gonna pass up a Lori Harvey. And she's for the streets. Ain't no regular dude gonna pass up a Kim Kardashian, and she's supposedly for the streets. Then no one's gonna pass up Amber Rose with that big ass and that big titties. And no one's gonna pass up a Saweetie. No one's gonna pass up a Meg Thee Stallion. No one's gonna pass up these women, rich or poor. So we gotta stop the cap. Now I'll pass the mic, but let me read this super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Don Lemon says, I've slept with women with body counts. I've never asked how many bodies she had. I really don't care. But if she tells me that she is a celebrated hoe, hell nah, pump and dump. Well, she may feel that if she's a celebrated hoe, she may feel pump and dump about you too. That's another thing. Why do men think when you have sex with a woman, you guys are the only one in the room? Why do men say that? Like, I hit or I smashed. If I was there, I hit and I smashed too. You think we ain't never pump and dump and was like, this motherfucker is whack, and then went and told our girlfriends and then ghosted you? Like, women do that. Like, women do that. But for some reason, you think because you penetrate us, we're supposed to feel a certain way. That's not always the case. Sometimes we pump and dump because your dick was little, because you were whack, because your stroke game is whack, because you just don't know how to fuck. And then we go tell our girlfriends, we give the BDR, there's a BDR and GDR, the good dick report and the bad dick report. And that shit is real, gentlemen. That shit is real. And you guys don't know if you were on the opposite end of a bad dick report. But women ghost men too. And that's what I'm trying to share here. That is what I'm trying to share here. I don't understand why men don't accept that that is a reality. And anybody else can reply to that.
I mean, my another point, and I'm glad you hit on it. I mean, you made a good point about, you know, women doing the smashing and stuff too in the time and age that we in. But that's the thing. Most men don't give a damn if his dick is bad or good. He's just out trying to get it. So where you gonna make the report, most men just like, bro, I knocked so and so down and it's on to the next. And I think that's the thing that maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just weird. But when it comes to that, to me, I honestly believe that most men think like this, where it's like, yes, having sex and having fun is one lane. The woman that I want to be out with and the woman that I want to marry is another thing. And it seems like the culture that we in now is, hey, this woman that you know slept with 100 guys, it's cool to wife her and take her around the party with guys that you know she done had sex with. Just as it was the opposite. Most women don't take a look at it like this. It's a reason why a lot of women don't tell their homegirls how good their man's sex is. Because sometimes they feel like, okay, well, maybe she'll try him. It's the same with us. The only difference is with us, most men, if we got the mentality that it's just sex, it's just sex. And like I said, I don't know why it's like we coming into this world where it's like it's not different for both. It is different for both. And I don't, that's what bothers me the more and more. And I done had these conversations multiple times with multiple women. And it's crazy that we act like it's not a difference between men and women. I mean, that's just crazy to me because it is a difference. No matter how much sex you have, the sex that we have affects both of us differently. That's
Okay,
just facts.
there's a, I want to be clear. There's a biological difference, of course. Of course, there's a biological difference. We can have babies, y'all cannot, right? We could come 10 times in one night, y'all cannot. Okay, there's a biological difference, of course. We have more erogenous zones. We have more, you know, antennas in our vagina that we could come with than you guys. Of course, there's a biological difference, but I just want to stress again, right, that the idea of women not being sexual, because that's what you're trying to say. Well, when we have sex, we could pump, not you, I'm saying you, some people in the chat. Well, men are different. They could pump and dump and I'll give a fuck about a hoe tomorrow. That we just happy, we smash, right? Women are the same exact way. There's no difference. The majority of that feeling that you're talking about, well, you know, men and women are different. It is due to a conditioning, not innate. It is a conditioning because men are told from when they're very little, this is okay. You can go out there and fuck whoever. It doesn't matter, blah, blah, blah. And women are taught the opposite. So we can't overlook a conditioning from when children are yay little. Women are taught to, you want a big wedding and you want a big white dress and you're a little princess. You're a little princess and one day you're going to meet your prince. So you're constantly hearing that from when you're little, and then you grow up being like, this is what I got to do because mommy said it and everybody said it. And I'm a little princess and the Disney cartoons told me, and I'm Cinderella and I'm Snow White. And it's a conditioning. So you took away her sexual freedom is what you did. But if, again, these tribes, if you go to a place that hasn't been touched, right, by certain ideas that men have of women, you're going to find sexually liberated women. There is no whole factor in these tribes because it's natural for women to want sex and not like it, as natural it is for men to want sex and not like it. So you could say, well, I don't care about no bad dick report. Yes, the fuck you do. Men have egos. Now you're going to cover it with your ego. You're going to be like, I don't give a fuck. I hit though. That's how you cover your ego. But you're not going to tell me that you don't feel bad if you hit once, the girl made fun of you. Now it's running around the neighborhood that you got a bad dick, right? But you're going to cover it. And you're going to cover it by saying, I hit though. But you know, deep down inside, you're like, yo, I can't fuck. She think my dick is little. I'm not
Yeah.
circumcised. You know you're gonna feel it, but you're gonna cover it up with this. You're gonna cover it up. But nobody wants to feel like they're inadequate. No one wants to be told you can't fuck. No one wants to be ghosted, men included. It's not gender specific. Nobody wants to be ghosted. Nobody, not even men. As tough as men are, nobody wants to be ghosted. And trust me, I know I've ghosted plenty of men, and they're still like, "Yo, what happened?"
Yeah.
No one wants to be ghosted. So I'm with you. I agree. Men and women are different, but we cannot ignore that a lot of the ways that men feel about sexuality is a conditioning, and vice versa is a conditioning.
Right. And I think, just gonna piggyback off you there. I mean, there was a tribe I even found out about later in life where they actually, the men and women don't get married, but they have sex with all the men can have sex with whatever woman they want to. It's just whatever. And then any children that are born, all the men take care of the children as if they're their own, because they're basically these are the children of the tribe, and we're going to raise them. And they do like a lot of group things. They show all the boys, how to fish and hunt and all that, and all the girls kind of learn from the moms when it's that way. But when they get pregnant, they don't know who it belongs to, and it doesn't actually matter. And so there are places like this. They do exist. I would have the name of it right now. Don't get in the bed, but these places do exist. And even like you said, I think it is conditioned. You're so right. Jen's so right. And it's just because, like, the story, like, we were seen as a pair of shoes. Women were seen as a pair of shoes, not people. And you didn't want everybody wearing your pair of shoes out, because then you would feel like they're not yours. And that's a property thing. And as we've transitioned to now, we're more seen as humans, not all the way, but whatever. And that still mindset of, I don't want someone else to say they know what my shoes feel like or what it's like to walk in my shoes. And it's like I said, I feel like it's more of a competition, ego situation. But women and men, even though we're different physically, I will give you that, physically and all that, we're not the same. But when it comes to having a sexual drive,
yes, woo.
Everyone has a sexual drive. That's totally different than wanting to bang everybody. And I know I've said some things here that sounds like scary to y'all, but I mean, being attracted to more than one man, being excited when you see your man take off his shirt, though you would want that in your woman to think that, but we're supposed to keep it quiet, keep that under wraps. We're not supposed to, get all hot. Women get hot flashes when they see a man all naked sometimes. We're like, "Ooh, girl, he's making me hot." And that's because, our temperature is rising. Right. I mean, that is a reaction from being turned on. And we're not, trying to act all out, but shoot, you see the women back in the day with fans. You think that's for fun? Yeah, we was hot. Come on, you know what this is. I just think that, don't get nasty now. Let me just say, I'm sorry, but for me, I think it's more passionate.
No, ain't nobody finna get nasty.
Yeah, I mean, no. I said, because for me, I get that. And it's not just from men. It's like, sometimes it's from women, especially traditional men, who don't understand that concept. And it's like, okay, I get that fire sometimes. And it's like, no, I'm not out here, trying to take everybody's man. But I mean, it's really like a stressful thing for someone to look at you and automatically just say you're a hoe because you like to think about guys or want to be with them. It is frustrating, and you almost feel like something's wrong with you if you're a woman. Right. Oh, should I shouldn't like two guys, or I shouldn't want that. And like, oh no, you shouldn't, because you're a girl. Okay, so it's back to that, like I said, property. Like, you're not really seen as a full person. You're just supposed to be seen as a vessel to have my children. And that it's confusing. Especially the youth. So yeah, you're right. The girls are transitioning not to care anymore. And that is true. Because they're like, listen, my body count is what it is. Do you want to do it with me or not? And the guys most of the time say yes. And then if they want a traditional man later, they'll just lie. You're right. And then that's what they'll do. And then you guys complain about it. Not you guys here, but men will complain that there's no one out here. Now, I mean, does she have to parade you around all the guys she slept with that week? No. But most women aren't doing that. That's kind of reckless. Okay. I mean, no one's really doing it. But half y'all, realistically, let's be real facts, A lot of women out here, they'll then slept with your friend, your cousin, and they with you. And you don't even know. And then when you're in that room, you look like an idiot already, but you just don't know. No one told you yet. So if we're going to be more honest about sexuality, let's just put it out there. Half these people out here cheating with your coworkers and friends, and you find out later, and that's just real truth. It's unfortunate, but come on. If she was open with you, she probably would have had a better result. That's what I think. But okay, let y'all go.
Don Levon, thank you for the super chat. Don Levon says, personally, if a woman wants to have sex with 100 guys a day, I think that's okay. It's her body. I just wouldn't date her. I'm glad women are having all this free sex. It saves money on dating.
Yeah, and
Facts.
what's your name? What's your name, my guy?
Tez.
Tez. Nice to meet you, man. World. But
too, bro.
what I want to say is what you were saying was absolutely right. The thing is I think everybody has to find somebody that aligns with their thinking. If what you want is a woman that is not for the streets, quote unquote, that hasn't been around, that believes in the same way that you think, then that's what's going to be good for you. And I can respect that, and everybody can respect that. They're going to have to, because that's what you're going to choose. But the reality of the situation is back on topic of the show, is men and women being sexually the same. We're not the same at all. But sexually, we're humans. So we're the same. I mean, if not more, we could be a little bit more crazier than them. They could be a little bit more crazy than us. I mean, it could go either way. And you got to look at it this way also. Women have more of an opportunity for sex. So a woman can get sex easier than a man can. If you look at the big picture, a woman on average can get sex way easier than a man can. And she don't have to be no dime. She don't have to be this. She don't gotta have no money. She can be ugly as hell with a fat ass. And she's gonna be able to get the same amount, if not more, sex than the dude that is so quote unquote high value. He look good, all that. She's gonna get the same attention that man gets. So with them having so you're basically saying that they gotta turn down all day when they go, from the moment they walk out their house. It's somebody trying to holler at them. They at the gas station. Hey, can I pump your gas for you, ma? They in the grocery store. Hey, a nigga trying to get at them. They in church.
Has no idea what her body count is.
They in church. A nigga trying to get on them. They in the club. A nigga trying to get on them. They in school. A nigga trying to get on them. Anywhere, so. If you really looking at it, the reality of the situation, whatever the case may be, if they hoes, if they this, if they that, they gon'. A lot of them is out here fucking, and they been fucking. Oh, this ain't nothing new, fam. This is nothing new. We just got this internet and stuff now that we're sitting up here speaking about it. But this is nothing new.
I mean, bro, I feel where you coming from, and I mean, you ain't lying. Most men will hit anything and walking, me included, brother. I'm married now. I didn't hit a couple of linebackers in my day, but I ushered them out at 2. But it's a difference. They left at 2 a.m. where the girl that I wasn't ashamed of, me and her went out for breakfast. That's the difference. Like I said,
that's not I want to be clear. That's not gender specific, Tez.
Yeah, Tez.
There's guys that are good in bed that we can take nowhere, that we're not taking to the Christmas party, that we're not introducing to our friends, because our friends are gonna say, where'd that ugly motherfucker come from? We're the same way.
Tez, let me ask you this: do you think women and men, do you think that they are just as sexual as one another? That's more of the question.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, that's more of the question. It's like, do men and women have like the same sex drive? That's basically like the topic.
Okay, well, I was going off of the video clip that she showed. So,
oh yeah, that was. I'm
not gonna sit here. Let's just see this. What I'm saying. We acting like people that seen that clip, my woman can do everything that this lady said, but it wasn't celebrated. This woman said this online, and if that's who she is, fine. But most men are gonna be like, man, I wonder what it'll be like to run a train on her. Not, man, I wonder what it'll be like to date her, or to have her as the mother of my children, or to marry her. That's the difference.
Most men won't, but there will be a man that's gonna marry her though, and she's gonna have his kids. You right, fam. Most men is not gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna wife her, but there will be a set of men that will fuck with her, and that's gonna fuck with her the long way.
Right. I mean, porn stars are married. Superhead was married twice. So, I find it ironic that men are constantly saying, men ain't gonna, and men do every single day. Drake's baby's mother is a fucking porn star, okay? And he has access to chicks that work in libraries that look like this right now. Hi, can I get your book for you? And he wanted that hoe, that porn chick, the fucking chick that's in all the, you know what I mean? That is how men think. Does she have a firebox? She must, because everybody wants her. That's really how men think. Now, how men say they think is a different situation. How men say they think in public is a different situation. But it kills me when men say, most men ain't gonna, but men do. And they do, and they do, and they do, and they do, and they do. So what happens?
Jen, but my counter argument is, read the comments of these men who are men that's agreeing with me. That's what I'm saying.
I know, but again, those men are I understand what you're saying, Tez, I really do. But those men are in public, in a room of other men. Get that man alone, though.
But also, what I'm saying, though,
with that pretty young girl.
What I'm saying is, even if most men, okay, say we got 100 men, and say 94 of them feel the same way that you saying right now. It's still 6 men that's gonna wife that girl, that's gonna take care of her, that she gonna be able to have kids with, that is gonna sit up there and wife her. And that's the truth, Tez. You know that's a fact.
Right.
So but could be. Go ahead.
No, my bad. I ain't mean to cut you off, brother.
No, go ahead. I was done. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, and I think that's the thing that we missing. As you right, bro, them 6 guys might do that, but in a room of them 94 guys, he gonna be the guy that's quiet because everybody's looking at him a certain way. Now, he shouldn't care. Don't get me wrong. I'm the type of guy, if I love the person that I'm with them. But I ain't gonna sit here and act like if I know my woman ugly, I don't know that. If I know my woman is heavy set, I don't know that. If I know my woman is we've been conditioned to say a hoe, I'm gonna know that. Exactly. And the other men around me gonna know that as well. So that's my thing. It's like we acting like go ahead, bro. I'm sorry.
No. That's gonna happen, fam. But that's another whole thing. Of the men that's saying, also we got to break down some of those other men on that comment. Some of them men that's saying that, they just saying that because they going along with what everybody else is saying.
Thank you.
Really, they'll still go ahead and do it. They just want to go ahead and be followers. So they're doing the opposite of what you're saying, with knowing that she's a hoe and standing on it with her. And all of them is not gonna be the quiet dude in the room, because we're not okay. I hate to keep going back to it, but I just always have to do it because it's something that everybody knows. We have all seen Kim Kardashian get fucked. Kanye West never was the quiet dude. We see that now. He loudly professed his love for her. He going through all this shit right now because of that pussy. You see what I'm saying? So it's like it is gonna happen your way, but I believe 2 things can be true.
I can agree with that. I mean, I believe 2 things can be true as well. I'm just going by the odds of what we know and what we see. And that's what I'm saying. Like I said, I don't need the backup of the brothers in the chat. I know what I see every day. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying what most men would say. Now you right, bro. It is them 6 guys that's gonna be like, yeah, I ain't got no problem with that. But in a room of a group of men, like bro said, they the clowns, they the suckers, and other men laugh at them. Now if that's your woman and you love her, F them. Forget what they say.
You know,
But
and I have
every guy,
but men laugh. But men laugh because that is what dudes do in a room. They all high five each other. It's a sword fight. It's who's más macho. It's not reading. It's not 9 times out of 10. It's not even what they fucking believe. It's like World King said earlier. It's like everybody's watching, so you don't want to be the odd man out. You don't want to be the one saying that the hoe is pretty or interesting or smart. You're not about to say that in this group of men, are you? A lot of it is a fucking cockfight. A lot of it is a cockfight. It's like, you like that hoe? Right? But alone is a different situation. So they do need the backup of the chat. They do need to feel like they're bonding with somebody else by calling somebody out of their name or looking at somebody a certain type of way. But all these hoes are married. And it's funny how it's like, I ain't wifing her though. 9 times out of 10, you ruin an entire fucking marriage with the one you wanted to wife with a hoe. So it's funny how empires are brought down by these hoes that have no value. Divorce happens over these hoes that have no value. Mothers. These women are becoming mothers, yet they have no value. All these hoes have no value, yet they take down empires. They have more power than the fucking wife, because the wife couldn't even keep the marriage together. So here comes this fucking mistress and tears down an entire empire. So how the fuck are you going to keep saying something has no value and has no power, okay? And it keeps showing you how much power it does have. There has to come a time where you stop acting stupid about it, to be quite honest. Because you can't keep saying something doesn't have power, yet it destroys marriages, it destroys businesses, it could bring down empires. That quote unquote hoe that has no value does all that damage. Why? Because men want to be with that hoe. They pine for that hoe. They whine for her. They want her. She's a freak in bed. She's sexy. She got the titties and the ass and the small waist. Men want that. So what you're telling me now is that that shit that men move hell and hot water to get has no value? That's kind of weird.
Yeah, like the Trojan War. The Trojan War was over a woman. She was married, got with the man, her husband chasing her down. It wasn't about being unfaithful. He was trying to get her back.
So men move hell and hot water to get cars because they really want them cars. They move hell and hot water to get that home because they really want that home. They also move hell and hot water to get that hoe because she's better in bed than his wife. So we can't keep saying that something has no value and it has all the power over all these guys that in a room together. That's the hoe. I'm just saying the math ain't mathing. That's all I'm saying. The math is not mathing. If this thing is so unvaluable, so disgusting, so grotesque, and you guys are gonna high five and laugh at it and talk about it, and he's the simp because he's with her, why does it have so much power? You have to prove a hoe is worthless and don't fuck with her at all. That's how I prove something is worthless. I unfollow, I unsubscribe, I don't talk to, I don't talk about, you're dead to me. I can't keep telling you that motherfucker ain't shit, that motherfucking ain't shit, that motherfucking Jen, is that his car in front of your house? What happened was, I ain't marrying him though, but he's in your bed. But I don't give a fuck because I'm a pump and dump him, but he's in your bed. So no, Jen, you can't keep telling me that he ain't shit because he's in your bed. But men want a pass. Men want to worship the hoe, want the hoe, destroy their marriages for the hoe. And then you think you're going to come tell us that the hoe doesn't have value? And we're supposed to believe you. We're supposed to believe you don't think shit about a hoe. But the divorce rate is because of finances and infidelity. Somebody explain that to me because the math ain't mathing. Them hoes are very valuable, apparently. Very valuable. How you gonna keep saying hoes don't matter? You kidding me? That should be the t-shirt. Hoes life matter. There's no way. There's no way that you could keep saying a hoe is she ain't this, we ain't marrying it though. No, you're just ruining your marriage for it. No, you're not gonna marry it, but you're gonna ruin your marriage for it. You're gonna get it pregnant. Look at fucking Arnie Schwarzenegger. Got the maid pregnant. Ugly as fuck. ugly as fuck, maid. All right. But she was the Latina in the house. So he was like, yeah, I need to give me some of that.
All right. So my counter to that would be,
I'm
all right, value, power. Okay.
You said power?
Yeah, you use value and power as two very interesting things.
I do that.
That is based off the determination of other man, not the whole in general. That is the decision made by an individual to go cheat on his wife and make that decision. So who really has the power? The guy that's making the decision or the hoe?
I would say the hoe.
How? Because if I decide not to fuck her, what's her power and what's her value?
Well, you would have to decide not to fuck her, but he's going to he fucks her.
But that's my thing. I have the ultimate power because if I don't make the decision to fuck, what is her value to me?
Right, but then you don't count in the conversation. But 9 times out of 10, guess what husbands do? They go fuck the hoe. So we can't talk about the men that aren't doing it because they don't count. We're talking about the men that are doing it, and it's a lot of them.
But that's not the power.
The demographic that's doing it, because the minority is men that are going to, let me tell you what's the minority. Very, very rare. Needle in a haystack. A man that's going to say, I do to a woman, take vows, and for 40, 50, 60 years, he ain't even going to touch another pussy. Those men are rare. They're aliens. They're fucking unicorns. They are unicorns. The majority of men are going to take vows with a woman that was safe. And then he's gonna fuck his secretary, fuck her cousin, fuck his ex-girlfriend, fuck his baby mama. That's the majority of men. That's the majority of men. The minority is not gonna give the power to that hoe. But if you are married, sir, and I come on to you and you come to my bed, I took the power from you and your fucking wife. Fuck y'all both. I took the power from you. I took the power from your vows. I took your power from the promises you made your wife. I took your I don't even care if you got kids. That's how hoes think. So who has the power? The man doesn't have the power. I have the power. You just took vows with a woman. I just fucked it all up in a couple strokes. Fucked up your whole shit.
That's
and if
so
she
crazy.
Finds out, you're done. If she finds out, you're done. That's power. And I didn't even give you nothing. I didn't give you children. I didn't give you support. I wasn't there for you when you needed me. All I brought was my pussy. I ain't bring shit. That shit ain't powerful. Your wife had to prove she was going to be a good wife. Your wife had to get pregnant, had these babies and nurse these babies. Your wife had to fucking wash the shit out of your drawers. Your wife had to make you breakfast. Okay, your wife had to make you breakfast, lunch, and dinner. She had to support you. She had to speak life into you. All I had to do was show up with my pussy and my pretty face.
Because that's all I wanted.
Power. Yeah, but it ruined your life, though. It doesn't matter. That's all you want. I don't care. Like, most women are like, I don't fucking care. I ain't gonna be your wife. I ain't gonna be cleaning after your dirty ass.
Right. And if that's all I want. That's what I'm saying. How do you have the power if I make the decision to do it and I get what I want at the end?
But so does she, and you have more to lose. You don't understand that?
No, I get that. But my thing is, what does she gain? Dick.
Right.
What's the value in that?
If that's all she wants, that's the value in that.
If that's all the man wants.
I think that's where we're missing each other. That it's hard for men to grasp that sometimes all women want is dick and they don't want the responsibility of a man. Let your wife do that. That's how these chicks are thinking out here. You have to get away from, it is impossible that a woman just wants dick. It's impossible, by golly, it's impossible. When you have to understand that women are now more independent. They're making their own money. They got their own car. They got their own homes. So what value is a man other than dick unless she wants more money? What value is a man in a woman's life who has her own money, her own car, her own home, and what value is he going to bring if all she wants is dick? You have to understand that this is not gender specific, and that's why men are getting stuck and left holding their nuts. That is why women, I say it again, file for 75 to 80% of the divorces. Women do, men do not. Women file 75%, 80% of the time. That statistic is staggering. That means that women have a better outlook in life, leaving men. Men aren't filing. Men are going to stay. Men are going to stay. They'll cheat. They'll lie. They'll be miserable. They're sick of the bitch, but they won't leave. They won't file. They will not file for divorce. Women are like, I'm out. I hate this fucking marriage. You cannot. Women lie, men lie, numbers don't. Women are filing 75 or 80% of the time. So women want to get the fuck away from men, not the other way around. So even with that statistic, you're still going to not grasp that all some women want is dick. Like, you think that's an L for a woman? If all she wants is dick, then she got what she wanted. And you could go on about your way. And I think that's where men lose. They're in denial. They're in denial about that. And that's a dangerous place to be. And that's why you end up divorced and paying tons of child support. And, you know, you got to give your home up because you're not thinking that women are more similar to men than you think they are. Women are more similar to men than you think they are. But men go into marriage thinking she ain't going to want nobody. She going to stay forever. She going to take care of me and never get sick of me and never want nobody else. And she's definitely not going to want to fuck her boss. That's how y'all go into marriage. And that's why y'all don't file. Women file, though. They be like, I'm out.
No, men don't file because we decide not to break up the family. Most men stay because if I didn't pick this woman to bear my children, create this life with, create this family with, to stop being a hoe, for me to stop being a hoe, this is somebody I'm looking to build a foundation with. I picked her, I want to stay. That don't have nothing to do with sex. Most men try to work things out. Most men, once they get married, they ain't trying to run back to the streets. So that's what I'm saying. Like,
accepted divorce rate is because of finances and infidelity.
But see, this is my thing.
Men do want that rock at home. But again, men marry safe, right? They marry the one that's not a hoe, right? They marry the one that'll be a good mother. They marry the one that could go 50-50 with, but they want that hot bitch. That's the problem with men. It's not the problem with men isn't that they don't want to settle down or build a foundation. The problem with men is that they want to settle down and build a foundation and still fuck that hot bitch over there. That's the problem with men. Not that they can't settle down, not that they're not willing to be a family man, but they want that hot bitch over there while they're doing that over there. That's the problem with men. And then the hoe. Then here she comes.
Right.
But you can't
take away. I'll ask you this because this is one thing I've asked other gentlemen too is, I mean, it's kind of rhetorical, but what do men have to actually offer to women? And you hear the same kind of thing. It's either financial stability, protection, right, and children. That is usually the kind of the top ones. And now that these newer women are growing up and becoming women, and they are providing themselves protection, they're providing themselves financial stability, they're providing themselves, even sometimes their own children. People can now just go get inseminated if they want to, or just ask a friend to get them pregnant and go about their business and have a baby by themselves. They can. And when they're doing these things, they no longer say men are valuable in their minds. Not gonna say out loud, but think about it. If men only see themselves as providing those particular items, what value do men have? And I think that's why some of the traditional men who are really pushing for women to not be able to get on birth control and all these kind of really harsh, back to the 50s mind frames, is because if they don't feel value in themselves, then they don't understand their worth. And it's confusing to them. Now, me personally, like, I feel like, okay, you're a person, I want to, like, your intellect and things like that, I have to have more. But for most men, they're told in their mind, all they have to do is those little things, is get a job, be able to give you some money, protect you, and give you some kids, and you should love them forever. And when you take that away from them, then they have no identity and they're lost. And then now, oh, everyone's a hoe and nobody wants to be wifed down. I can stay with you forever. And like Jen said, the same ones who are saying I'm offering you this life are the same ones who are running out in the streets. And you're supposed to be okay with it. It doesn't make sense.
I like this
And that's
comment here. I like this comment here. BK Brown said it's cheaper to keep her because I have very good friends that were on the verge of divorce or miserable with their wives, and I never heard them say, "Oh, I want to stay because of the kids." It's always finances. I'm trying to get out of this marriage without her hitting my fucking pocket. I'm scared to leave. It's cheaper to keep her. That's usually why men stay, because they know if they get divorced, it's going to hit their pockets really, really bad. Child support, alimony. He usually has to move out and get himself an apartment. Like, men end up fucked up after divorce. Women, not so much. And I think that's why women file so often. But men usually don't leave, not because they don't want to break up the family, but because they don't want to break their pockets. Now, not all, some. I'm sure some men want to stay because they want their family, and they want to, even though they're fucking around, they want their family, right? But most men are like, it's cheaper to keep her. This is a generational joke. I've heard this joke since I was a little girl. It's cheaper to keep her because that's the idea men have. If I leave, she's going to run my pockets. So I'll just stay with this bitch I don't really like. I will put up with her and I will fuck my secretary. But if I divorce this woman, she is going to run my pockets. And that's usually why men stay.
right. Now,
I had a friend recently. I was like, dude, you ain't divorced her? He was like, nah, I got to do it strategically because she going to fuck me up. And I was like, damn. And then he went and got her pregnant. So now he's fucked.
right. Now, well, my question is, do you think the numbers would be different if there was no alimony and that we would all be in a situation where it's, coming with you, whatever you came in with, you leave? A lot of that happened. Would you think that the men's number of leaving, divorcing, or initiating the divorce would be higher? I think it would. If there was no child support to pay or anything, I think men would be dipping way more. And now, unfortunately, yes, that's part of being a male. The society has made it that when you give children to women that you got to help support them, because most of the time back in the 50s, women weren't allowed to work like that. So you had to help provide for these children you gave her. And that was what it was in place for. It wasn't in place to destroy your lives, but now it's kind of different. But that's why rules need to be changed and laws need to be changed as we progress, obviously. But yeah, if you said there's no consequence for leaving that bitch, and I'm sorry to say, there will be more men running the streets than ever. More men running the streets.
Absolutely.
I think so.
Let me do a super chat real quick. I got an echo. Somebody mute up. Okay. Thank you, Don Levon, for the super chat. Don Levon is hot in the chat. He said, exactly, Jen. We understand that all the women want is dick. That's why we don't spend money on them. Our dick is our payment. Well, it depends. I know a lot of men who spend a lot of money for pussy. So yo no sé, Don Levon. Yo no sé. And some women, all they want is dick. They want to take that edge off. They working all week, at that fucking job. The kids are driving them crazy. They just want a dude, the dude with the good stroke. They call him up. What you doing? You know what I'm saying? I need somebody to take the edge off because I got to go to work on Monday. So again, not gender specific. And Don Levon says, facts, women file for divorce more just so they can call into Kendra G and Kevin Samuels looking for another sucker. Maybe. I'll drop the link now, Haran. Thank you, Necessary Evil. She's always buying me my smoothies. She says the irony, how men shame women that no longer buy into happily married anymore. The same men who juggled multiple females. Get over it, fellas. You devalued yourselves. We just finally caught on. Shots fired. Okay, that is absolutely true. Like, men kept fucking around, and women are like, oh, okay, so this is how it is. I sign these papers. Sign these papers. I'm gonna show you something. I'm gonna show you a trick real quick. So I do. It's the position that men are in with divorce and all of that. It's like, I'm not an advocate for marriage. As you guys know on this show, I'm not an advocate for marriage only because it's like gambling. I'm not going to gamble with a 50-50 chance. I'm just not. Most marriages end, and if they don't end, it's two people tolerating each other. I think people that are meant for marriage are very small part of our population. Very, very, very tiny. Other than that, it's people tolerating each other, cheating on each other, not really sharing their innermost thoughts, feelings, desires, and fantasies. There's just two motherfuckers cohabitating and having children. And I don't think that that's appealing to women, especially women that are making their own money. So dick will do. Dick will do.
Well, yeah, that part's not appealing. I don't think that's appealing to really anybody. Because I think you had a show the other day. I wasn't able to jump in. I was bouncing in and out. But that goes into it too, as far as being able to share your innermost feelings and things of that nature. And when that's not being done, that's also an underlying effect of the divorce rate and all that. I believe I believe that is not as much as, of course, not nowhere near as much as finances and infidelity, but that part right there, not really knowing your partner, also is what leads to it.
True.
Hey, I just
you joined us. What you got to say? I know you got something.
I just have a few things to say before I leave.
Okay.
I just want to piggyback off of. I just happened to hear something that Miss Polly was saying, and she was saying something to the effect. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but something to the effect of she was asking, what do men have to offer? Now that many of the so-called traditional attributes and benefits can be supplemented by women. And this is true. Now, this lends to the overall point that I was trying to make yesterday. When you allow yourself to be defined by the perceptions of society and what they tell you, what you're supposed to be and how you're supposed to function as a man, when they remove that and society evolves, you become obsolete. So a lot of men are dealing with obsolescence right now. They have absolutely no clue who they are personally as human beings and as men. So they have no clue as to what else they can provide someone. Now, this is why it is important to sit with self and have a strong sense of self before you go down a particular road. Now, I deal with women who have their own money. I deal with women who have a lot of the things that a man um, can provide them. I tend to know what are the particular pockets and smaller areas that I can actually provide that particular person. It's customized person. You have to pay attention. You have to put in the work. It's not just as simple as I'm showing up to the table with my wallet and my peanuts. No, seriously. Now, a lot of guys being faced with that reality, a number of them, their reaction is either anger, lashing out, panic, self-loathing, or they grab a passport and they go run, some godforsaken fucking country and do God knows what with whomsoever. Instead of just sitting down and just saying to yourself, hey man, this is a modern society. This is a new society. The genie is not going back in the bottle. What do I have to do personally to improve and to exist within this new society? Every man across millions of years throughout history has had to adapt to the motions of society. Every man. If you want to survive, if you want to ensure that your lineage continues. So my thing is that I think that every man should propose to himself, well, what else can you provide? If you did not have a penis or a fucking or a fucking wallet to provide, what else can you provide somebody? What else? Have you actually thought about that?
I think that's ooh. I think those are fire points because in these spaces we hear a lot of men complaining to other men about women, right? And telling other men what's wrong with women, right? Constantly. No one is telling men, look, women have evolved and this is how you should evolve to match that. No one is telling men that, but you're absolutely right. If men were meant for protection and providing, well, I got a couple Glocks upstairs, right? And if I make my own money, so then it's like, where do you fit? Now that I can protect myself and I can provide for myself, then really, where do you fit other than if I enjoy penetration? Because I got a couple vibrators too. See? So no one is telling a man, listen, women have evolved. What they're doing is women ain't shit. They hoes, they for the streets, they ran through, they're hitting the wall, they don't respect you, they too independent, they masculine, they masculine. That's what men are constantly being told. That is what they're ingesting in these spaces. And men are becoming more vitriolic when it's very easy. It's very easy. Tell men how to evolve with the women that have evolved. Because women still take men. We still like y'all. If we're heterosexual, we still want the company of men. Some of us still want to be married. Not I, but some women still want to be married. Some women still want to have boyfriends. But it seems like you said, men don't know their place anymore. It's like, wait, you just took from me provider and protector. What else I got? So that's a great question. So let me put you guys in the hot seat, gentlemen. If I go around the room and I ask, what do you have to offer a woman besides protection and money? What would you say? Why would I take you when I could provide for myself and I can protect myself? What I feel like is some good protection. I think a Glock is the best equalizer on the planet. So what would you provide? I'm sitting across the table from you having dinner. Why do I even want to see you again? Unless I deem you attractive enough to have sex with. But then you have to be up here. Then you have to be up here, because if I'm going to get naked with you and I don't want anything else from you, you got to have two things: a banging body and a good dick. Because if that's all I want you for, I got my own money, I got my own protection, then you better have a banging body and a good dick. So now you're competing with other men who look good. So what do you have to offer? That is an amazing question. What do you have to offer the woman of today, the way women are today? That's a great question. Great question. Let me do this super chat real quick. You guys could think about that before you reply. Thank you so much, Necessary Evil, for the super chat. She says, if the only thing I can't do for myself is dick, but getting dick is attached to a problematic man, that's a hard pass for me. That's another way that I think too. When I think in terms of relationships, right? And I'm way past, the phase of wanting to be in relationships, right? My age, my goals, what I'm doing now, I'm very happy, I'm very content. But if I should ever come again around, if I should ever spin the blocks of thinking, I want to be in a relationship, I want me a man, the first thing I'm going to think of is this man coming with baggage. How many fucking kids does he have? How much fucking child support is this man paying? Because these motherfuckers want to have 2-3 kids with 2-3 different baby mamas. Am I going to be dealing with that? Is his fucking sister going to be a miserable bitch that I got to deal with? Is he a mama's boy, right? I'm thinking about all those things. And then the idea of coupling with a man becomes less and less appealing, right? And that's how a lot of women are thinking today. Is it worth the problem? Is it worth the headache? I gotta look good for this guy. I gotta cook for this guy. I gotta wash his fucking dirty drawers. Why? When I could just smash a dude on the weekend and go on about my business. And that is how the modern woman is thinking now. So how are men going to evolve to accommodate that? Because we still love y'all. Women still love men, right? We still need furniture moved every now and then. So how are you going to accommodate the woman that's evolved versus complaining about what women are all day? They for the street. She a hoe. She ran through. She masculine. She too hard. She too independent. She got too many college degrees. Nobody want Women don't care you're talking at them like that anymore. They don't care that you're talking about them like that anymore. Women don't care. That used to work back in the day where you could call a chick a hoe and she was destroyed for 3 weeks. Am I a hoe? Like those women, they're gone. So what now, gentlemen?
I mean, the best answer I can give you is nothing. I mean,
Not,
to be complete,
I'm
to be
listening.
complete. If you feel like you can do everything that I can do, you don't need me. I agree with it. I agree 1000%. You don't need me if you can do everything that I do. But unfortunately, you cannot. Most women believe they can, but you can't. You can't be a father. Can you?
But they've had to be, so that you could take that off the table.
No.
Women raise kids. No, she
No.
can't be a father. She can't be a man. But women, I'm just saying, tangibly, women raise children on their own all the time. Of course, she can't be a father. She's a mother.
Right.
Well, King's just trying to get back up.
But that's not a deal breaker.
It should be.
It should be. You're absolutely right, because children deserve two-parent homes. I absolutely agree with you. No, she can't be a father, but she's had to be. So that, I mean, she does it. Women do it all the time.
Women raise the children. They're not fathers. See, that's another thing. When we say this value, fathers seem to be overlooked. Yes, you can be a single mother, but you're not a father. You can't teach this child things that they need. That's why it's supposed to be a two-parent household. So that's what I'm saying. When men complain about the devaluing and stuff, there are reasons why. Because just like you said, Jen, women believe that they can be fathers, and that's not true. They might raise the child.
That's not true, Tez. That's not true. Women do not believe they can be fathers. Women are put in a position where they have no choice. No woman on the planet, trust me when I tell you, no woman on the planet wants to raise a child on her own. Every woman prefers that there is masculine energy, a father figure in that child's life. Women do not think they can be fathers. Women have no choice but to try to fill that hole. That's why they put their kids in sports. That's why they take them around their uncles or their father or their brothers or their grandfather. Women don't think they could be fathers. They have no choice.
That goes into my counter argument of this whole culture of sex culture, because you have to deal with the ramifications of those actions. Am I right?
Well, that's not gender specific. Brother Ish is a single father.
That's cool, and I respect him for that. But how many men usually don't get custody of the children? That is a hardship that comes on your side.
Anybody else want to answer?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I mean,
come on, what men have the offer?
Yeah, I mean, I do understand that. Believe me. Like I said, a lot of this is just me generally kind of talking and giving it a little bit of maybe just thought process of how the new age women are. Not everything I'm saying, I just want to put that out there, is applying to myself into every degree. But if I do like what you said, brother, earlier, like how you said, everything you said, I really kind of agree with that. I'm glad you spoke that and very eloquently. But I like you said, we're not trying to say men suck. Okay, we're not saying that. And but like you, if you don't know, like sir, I'm around men so much more than most ladies probably are. And it's not that. It's nice to have that energy, male energy around too. But in the same word is that if you can only value yourself for those things, I think what's going to happen is you're going to have to start realizing that you have to give a little bit something different. I'm not even going to say more, different. You got to actually start thinking about not only just valuing yourself as just a paycheck. It's just a meal. You have to do something extra. And I think that, and I'll be honest, when I get with my partners, because most of them are monogamous, I do a lot of other things. Like I don't really build my relationship on money. I don't let them pay for anything at first. I really don't. It actually bothers me. I take all that away. And it basically is to strip down all those society things and be like, okay, do you want to be here with me because you want to be here? Or because you need me to need you? Or you need me to, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to need you here. I want you here. And I think if you change that idea of not having to need someone but want them there, it's so much different. It's so much the relationship you have with people will change if you want someone with you instead of needing them there because I need a bill paid. I need them there because they're not going. I need somebody to take my kid to the school bus. If you take that away and just say, "I want you here and I want to do this with you," this thing called life, it's a whole nother energy, whole nother energy. And I
What I
think
would
that's what
say,
you may have to start doing is that men start to look at themselves and see something else other than I'm just a paycheck. And I think that will help.
I'll
Be
say
honest.
this. I'll say this to those men. Somebody
echo.
Okay. I'll say this to those men, the men that are kind of like clueless, like, well, all I've been conditioned and trained and thought to do was provide and protect. That is what I do. I am a man. That is what I do, right? What's going to happen is your options are going to be slimmer and you're going to have to go with that cringy word. You're going to have to go with the women that need money from you or protection. That's going to be your dating pool. And it's as simple as that. There's somebody for everybody. If you're a guy that doesn't have the tools or doesn't know how to evolve or doesn't want to evolve, maybe you just want to be, hey, I am a simple man. I protect, provide. I don't like all this complicated shit, this modern woman shit that's evolving. I protect, provide. Then you're going to have to get with a woman that wants that wants protection and a provider. But then remember, men hate the idea of giving women money. So something's going to have to give. You're going to have to compromise. You're going to have to be the man that gives women money. Although I know that makes you cringe. The idea that a woman wants money from you, it makes you cringe. So something's got to give. Either you have to evolve to be with that modern woman, or you have to open up your pockets to be with the woman that's going to need you for what you can provide, which is protection and money. So you have choices. Long as you stay in your lane, you'll be fine.
what I would say is, for the sake of this conversation and saying without protection or providing or sex, I mean, you can still bring motivation, you can still bring inspiration, you can still bring love, you can still bring understanding, you can still bring patience, you can still bring kindness, you can still bring you can still dance with each other, you can still cook, you can still fix something. I mean, you can still do other things. If you just say, let's just say, okay, if we had a test that we just gonna say, okay, we just gonna strip away those three things from you, what else can you offer? Those are the things that I would say I could offer, or anybody could offer.
That's not bad. That's not a bad list. I'm not mad at that list. Anyone else?
Jen, can I respond to that rundown?
Yes.
I'm about to leave though. Can I just,
you
know what I mean?
Of course, brother. Of course.
Yeah. Yeah. Just real quick. For me personally, I would have to have a conversation with the person. You know what I mean? Get to know the woman. And like for example, if she lives a very intense and busy life, you're one of the things you could do is try to bring the antithesis to that. You could learn to create softer spaces for her, relaxations. Make sure that she has spa dates, so on and so forth. You know, I don't know if you're skilled in massaging and so on and so forth. You can engage in those things. You can also share certain things about your own self if you happen to be versed in a number of disciplines, right? Whether it be academic, whether it be worldly, so on and so forth. If you're a refined individual, if you've been to other places, and you can also do one thing that usually sticks with every woman, regardless of what she tells you. If you teach her something about herself that she never knew before, prior than when she met you, most of the time, you will essentially have an impact on her life. If you help make her better than what she was before she met you, then most of the time, then yes, that is something that you can do. However, as I said again, in order to do these things, you have to know how to do these things for yourself. Brothers got to go out there and travel, man. Brothers need to meet different races of people. Brothers need to go out there and read different books, put different ideas into your head, experience different things, so you can see the complexities, you can see the differences in the world, you can see the similarities, and you can understand that at the end of the day, everyone, regardless of what they tell you or how they tell you, everyone has common ground. Everyone has a common denominator that if you zero in on and you speak to that, to, that common denominator that we all share as human beings, you can have no issue actually relating to anyone.
When you gonna start your channel, sir? You gotta start your channel.
Tell
these men.
Actually, I was going to talk to you about that. Later on the rest of the week. But I'm gonna hit the sack. I gotta hit the gym in a couple of hours.
Okay.
We're gonna talk, Jenny. All right. You guys have a good night, man.
Thank you for coming out.
No
peace.
Don Levon, modern women want money too, but they want a man that makes 30% more than what they make. Yes, modern women want someone to have more money than they do, but they don't need it. That's the difference. There are women that need a guy to help them, and some women just want you to have more money because it's like, it's badass that you have more money than her. Brother Ish, you wanted to respond.
Yes, I was listening to it, and I'm coming on late. I've missed a lot of the conversation. I was darting in and out, and so I apologize, number one, Jen, for that. And when the brother was describing the different attributes that he brings to a relationship or to a partnership, which were all great characteristics, again, there's a lot of characteristics to a fine meal, and those are complementary dishes, but you have to look at what is the main course. And the main course may be the steak, or maybe, the salmon or whatever. So, and how is that prepared? And the main course in this analogy is your main responsibilities as man. And that's to provide and protect. And it shouldn't be done begrudgingly. When you were saying that, men hate to give money to women.
No. I don't mean to interrupt you, but they were asking, like, it was a challenge. Like, if they took away protection, providing, and sex, they were saying, what would you be able to give a woman?
Oh, okay. So then I stand corrected for coming in on the tail end of the conversation. Okay.
Yeah, but keep going with what you was going with.
You're here.
Piggybacking off of what Jim was saying in relationship to men begrudgingly wanting to give out money. I don't think that's actually the truth. I think that it's only begrudgingly when you don't have it. When you have it, you'll see that men spend very, very free for all, because it's like, yeah, here, go and get this. Yeah,
the ones that don't, the ones that give money they're not in the conversation. I'm literally talking about the ones that, we see these shows all the time, and men just cringe when you bring up money. And if a woman is not going 50-50 with them, she's everything but a child of God. If they can't find a woman who will go take a cup of coffee as a date. And I'm not going to get into the coffee date again, but there are a lot of men who cringe at the thought of spending $40 on a dinner. Right. So I'm talking about those guys. The guys that give money aren't a factor because it's like they just give money. It's like, I make money. I'm going to make more money. You want to go to dinner? Let's go to fucking dinner. Let's catch a show. Do you want me to get you some shoes? Like, I'm not talking about those guys.
Well, even with, let's stay on the lane with the men who don't have money, And I fall into that category, and have fallen into that category in different occasions and fallen out of that category. So with that, you know, when I was in certain relationships, you know, I may not have been able to every week go out to a big dinner, but when there was a desire to go to a big event, I made sure that I covered that. I made sure that I covered, you know, a good dinner and prepared for that type of scenario. I made sure that, you know, if there was any time that there was money that had to be spent, that I was the one spending it, whether I had to beg, borrow, or steal to make that my reality. And that allowed my ability to facilitate it. Now, I was not able to compete with maybe other men that she may have been with in that arena, but I made every effort possible to remain in my role as a provider to the best of my ability, and have to be comfortable with that. Like, I got plenty of nothing, but nothing's plenty for me. You know what I'm saying? So I want to be able to, say, hey, look, I covered the meal, and no, we're not going out to, the mommy's on for brunch every Sunday, but at least once a month, I know we can do that. If that's something that she desires. So, I mean, I think there's just efforts that have to be made, and it shouldn't be made begrudgingly, but efforts should be made also to be, to strive to be the better earner, And I know that wasn't really the original topic of the show, but I know that, a lot of times on the block, our conversations bob and weave and dip into other areas of subject, so.
No doubt. That's fine. I don't want to go too late, because I said I wouldn't keep you out late. It is Thursday night and I'll be back tomorrow. But Brother Ish, I did want you to speak on the actual topic before we get out of here. Why can't men accept women are just as sexual as they are? Specifically the video of the girl, and you've seen the video that went viral, so I don't have to play it again. So what do you think about how she's being viewed and how she views herself and her sex and sexuality without psychoanalyzing her? Because we don't know this woman, we don't know her background. So what do you think about it in general?
I think that, her perception is her reality, and that may not be all of our perceptions, but in how she's perceiving her intimate experience and encounters with men, that this is what makes her, in the quote from Halle Berry in the Monsters Ball, makes her feel good. Make me feel good. So, I mean, right. And that was just the story of a traumatized woman, that was going through a lot of difficulties in life, and was trying to just use the sexual experience as a form of narcotic to make her feel better about, dealing with all the pain that she may be experiencing. And, so without being able to psychoanalyze her, without going into her history, and, I have no idea who this person is. I know nothing about her. I don't know if she's even, if she's telling the truth, or if she's not just a porn star on the side, or whatever, I don't know. But they're breadcrumbs, they're aspects that could show that there's an issue there. And you can put lipstick on a pig, but it's still a dirty, nasty hog. And so sex makes people. And if you're having sex with 5 different people, at a certain point, if it's not protected, and if there's not, all the other things that are in place, how are you going to address the issue of the one that you like being the father, or the one that touched you better in the moment being the father? And there's been conversations like this in many different articles I read about, intimacy with women, and enjoying the experience of being satisfied by multiple men, and it's not necessarily that person's a bad person, but the experience. And I would just say that that's a byproduct of certain aspects of the society. I think it's a byproduct of I think hoes are not born, they're made, and they're made by other men who are behaving in a hoe-like manner, and then turn around and judge the monster that they created. And I think that that's a bad dynamic that we really have to address as men, that we're going around taking off all these women, and then we're judging them after we've, utilize them as pleasure tools. And everybody enjoys, generally, everybody, not some, not all, enjoys sex. That's one of the driving mechanisms for, you know, procreation as a species. But at another aspect, we have to really look at the damage as men that we're doing to women when we're not actually valuing them. Like you said, after protection and provision, what else can you provide to the table? So after sex and cooking a good meal, what else are you providing me as a woman? And looking at the women for those other aspects that they bring to the table.
So let me ask you, aside from, because you gave me a lot of the cons, right? Aside from the cons, let's say you take out disease, take out STDs. Maybe she always uses a condom. Take that out. Take out, maybe she's on birth control, so there's no way she could get pregnant and wonder who the daddy is. Is it not fathomable that this woman just enjoys sex with multiple partners because she does feel worshipped when a lot of men are on her or penetrating her and they're giving her all this attention? Isn't it possible that she just likes it?
Oh yeah, of course. I'm not saying that it's not impossible that to enjoy that experience. I mean, who would not enjoy, you know, people serving, you know, I mean, sex is sight, you know, making love is sight, sound, taste, and touch. That's what making love is. You know what I'm saying? You know, so if you're experiencing, if you're having this exaggerated physical experience, of course, you know, generally you're going to enjoy it. The cons to that dynamic is that, in what I've read, is that you might have one, say for instance, there's 5 individuals. One out of those 5 may be too aggressive, or one out of those 5 may not be touching you the right way. And, you know, one may want to do an act that you're not prepared to do. So there's a lot of preparatory work that needs to happen, because if it has, in some of those situations, and a lot of swingers do this, there's there is some random behavior, and that can throw an offset into the whole situation, or, you know, right, a Neil scratch moment on the record. So, you know, that's an aspect that I read about that exists in those scenarios. That, you know,
I mean, there's always a worst case scenario, best case. I do want to read this comment. Don Levon said, "I wonder why none of these men are tripping when asked, 'What do you bring to the table?' Wow, they calmly answer the question. Ask a woman the same question, all hell would break loose." Well, I could give you a little insight on why all hell breaks loose. The reason why all hell breaks loose is because the majority of the time you're probably asking a woman, probably specifically a woman of color, and a woman who's put up with a lot and has had to provide a lot for men, right? On top of that, men and women, we get our periods every fucking month. We're hormonal all fucking month long. Sometimes it's up, sometimes it's down. Sometimes our titties are small, sometimes our titties swell. We got cramps, we got headaches, we have to cook, we have to clean. Automatically, just being born with a vagina, that's your certificate. He's like, you have a vagina, this is going to be your life for the rest of your life. You're going to get a period, you're going to bear children, you're going to get stretch marks, you're going to be cranky, then you got to be pretty for your man. You got to know how to cook, you got to know how to clean, then you got to pick up after this motherfucker, because he's going to be a whole infant. He's going to look like an adult, but he's going to add him to the children that you have. So women, when we hear that question, I'm just giving you some insight. You don't have to take the information at all. You could be like, whatever, Jen. But I'm just giving you some insight that it's a trigger for women when we hear, what do you bring to the table? Because we've been bringing shit and being the table and bringing shit to the table from a very young age. We're taking care of our fathers and our brothers, and we go through a lot, right? I'm not saying that men don't go through a lot, but you will never go through a lot and have to deal with a period, and have to deal with cramps, and have to deal with childbirth, and have to deal with being harassed your whole fucking life because you're a woman, or underpaid, or, you know, all kinds of things, right? So women are already coming with that. So when you like add one more thing, like what you bring to the table, we're coming in with those engrams and that chip in our head, like, motherfucker, what? Do you know what the fuck I've had to do for guys? And I had to visit my cousin in prison, and I had to do this for my brother, and I had to cook meals for my daddy, and my mama said, you know, so that's why it triggers us, because women, we already have a lot on our shoulders, and men can leave and women have to stay, you know, raising the children. So women go through a lot. So I'm just giving you an insight into why women get triggered when you say what you bring to the table. And then we have to fucking work to help men, because men can no longer run a household because the economy and things are more expensive now. So on top of childbirth, cramps, headaches, cooking, cleaning, bearing children, looking after your fucking dirty asses, speaking life into you, we got our periods and all of that. So when we hear that, and we probably went through all of that before you asked us that question, that's why women are triggered. And it's easier, you notice, you said it yourself, it's easier for men to answer that question because men ain't going through the tons of shit that women are going through when you ask them that question. I think that's why women get triggered. It's like what you bring to the table. You're like, motherfucker, what? I've been doing this table shit since I was a kid because I'm a woman, right? So that's just my idea of why women normally get triggered. On top of that, like I said, now we got to work too because y'all can't run a household on your own. We got to pay for shit too. So it's a lot. Women go through a lot. So that's why that question is triggering. I digress. After that, so any and I love you, Donovan, I'm just giving you insight. That's why women get triggered. So next time you see a woman break, all hell break loose, just know that that is a woman who's been through some shit. Now, she hasn't been through some shit, great upbringing, didn't have to take care of a bunch of fuck boys on her resume. She's going to answer just as calmly as men. She's going to be like, well, what I bring to the table is my blah, 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 blah. Right? But that's usually not the case. Women go through fucking hell and back, taking care of y'all hell and fucking back. Because remember, we're trained to love him no matter what, girl. If he's broke, if he's ugly, if he love that man, love that man. And we do. We love that man until we're like, fuck off. So with that said, guys, I would love to hear any parting words. If not, I'm going to close out. This was amazing. Thank you so much for joining me. I know it was late, so I appreciate y'all came up late, Miss Polly. I love your input. I'm so glad you were in the chat.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say thank you guys. I know I was so funny. I was sitting next to my partner and I saw what the topic was. I said, oh man, I gotta go on this right now. And he was like, yeah. So it definitely was awesome. I love the last two times. Great topics. You always do. You always have good topics. So I mean, only words I could say is like I said, stay in your lane. If you want a traditional woman with a 2 body count and she's 63, stay in your lane and find her. She's beautiful. She's out there. And if you want a girl who likes to do gangbangs and get it every which way, wife her up. Shoot, I bet it'll be great. So, that's it. Come to stay in your lane, and hopefully men will see that they have more value than just those couple items that they think they can bring. And yeah, it was great being here, guys, and a lot of you guys had really good input, so I appreciate it. You guys have a good night, okay?
You too, Miss Polly. Thank you. Come back again, you hear? DJ Eddie King, I see your question, but we addressed that. It's conditioning. Like women usually are sexual, but they're conditioned not to be. And that's probably why men complain, because you're right. Men do complain about women not being sexual, but you're probably talking to a woman who, again, has been conditioned to not be sexual because it's not, good girls are not sexual. So that's probably what you're dealing with when you're dealing with a woman that's not sexual. She's probably like, I'm not supposed to be sexual. Gentlemen, any parting words before I close out? Going once, going twice. Sold. We're out of here. All right, guys. So thank you so much for joining me tonight on a freaking late night. I will see y'all tomorrow. I love all your opinions. We don't always have to agree, and we don't agree because we're not supposed to. Okay. None of us are twins. And I appreciate the pushback and the arguments and all of that. I love you guys. I love seeing you here. I will see you mañana, hopefully. And if you guys have a topic that you want me to do, please, gentlemen, feel free to hit me on the Gmail or on my Instagram. I don't always have to come up with the topics. Let me know what you guys want to talk about and what you want to hear. I am more than open because you guys always bring me the best commentary. So if you have an idea, you want something, something that you want me to dissect, I am here for you. Aside from that, I will bid you adieu. It's okay, Eddie King. Come next time. Subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when I'm up next time. It was a great question. We just addressed it earlier. All right, guys. So I'm out of here. Good night. Hit that like and subscribe on your way out. Thank you so much for holding me down with the super chats and in the chat and being nice to each other tonight. And thank you for putting up with me. I didn't think anybody was going to be in the room because it was late. But thank you. Talk about multiple wives. That's a good one. All right, guys. So I'm out of here. Have a great night. If I don't see you guys tomorrow, have an amazing weekend. Don't forget, Takeoff's funerals tomorrow. Peek in case I don't. You could give me some notes on that. All right, guys. And I'm out. Good night. Hugs, love, and kisses. Hit that like for me. Gracias.